Starting.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, it says we're on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of TNT Photon HQ with your host, Uncle Nerd.
Yeah,
and
we're on.
No, what am I, Uncle? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to. Is it me kicking back like that?
Yes, that's you.
Yeah, turn your volume down, sir.
Am I, Uncle? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to. Is it me kicking back like that? Oh yeah. It is me. It is me. Hold on.
You're on YouTube, baby. Yeah.
Oh shit. I love how messed up our show is. That's what makes it authentic. But yeah, man. Yeah, welcome to TNT Photon HQ. And today we'll be covering a plethora of topics as usual. We'll be covering Stan Lee's, passing, and we'll be paying respects. We'll also be giving our opinions and views on his passing and what we felt of it. We'll also be talking about the new Ghostbusters that Dan Aykroyd has pretty much confirmed in certain aspects. Sabrina, and I hope you watched it, Mika.
I have. I sure enough have.
Series on Netflix, Amazon. We're going to talk about 50 Cent doing his thing. We're going to talk about the Overlord movie. We're going to talk about Netflix Shearer that Kenny enjoyed.
Oh yeah, my favorite.
We're going to talk about
Anthony. We're going to talk about She-Ra.
Yeah. We're also going to talk about what's that? The Bohemian Rhapsody. Not at all. You want to jump in, Dave? You can jump in, brother. You're always welcome. In the meantime, we're gonna I'm gonna let the co-host take the show away while I post up to other social network outlets. I'm just a little bit off today. I had a little something happen to me today. Not physical, but like with family and stuff like that. So it's a little bit, but I'm good. That's the reason why I did the show today, so I could take my mind off of it. And plus,
okay, that's all we want to hear. Just as long as you're good, D.
Yeah. Right. Also, we're gonna talk about Daredevil season 3. There's a bunch of stuff we got going on. See, look. So I'll let you guys get to it. Take it away, Mika. Take it away, Kenny. Which one of y'all?
I wanted to talk about Kenny's favorite person, Iggy Azalea.
Yeah. Oh yes, my favorite.
Yeah, your favorite person. She shut up. She receives an offer from Bang Brothers to do porn.
What site she gonna be on, man?
Numbers.
Is she gonna be on the Bang Bus itself? The big tits.
We don't know yet. It's like I was reading on Double XL, like
I hope she makes the cream pie site.
Wait.
Yeah, it would be awesome to get cream pie. That would be
man. On the bigtitscreampie.com joint.
Look like
Kenny is killing me right now. Shut up, Kenny. It's like Iggy Azalea may no longer have a label, but she let the world know on Twitter that she was starting a new chapter in her life and her musical career. On Twitter, that she quoted that she is officially unsigned. And there's a follow-up to that. And she is free to release whatever kind of music she likes to do and wherever she likes to do it. So Bang Brothers replied back to the tweet, "You should sign with us. Aspirate will never be the same." Oh. So they want her on Aspirate.
Oh, there you go. You oil her up.
Does she really have an ass like that, though?
Not really. I said he put her on like facial.
Yeah, but she has this odd looking You remember that movie White Girls?
With, yes.
Yeah.
She looks like to me. She looks like
one of them.
She looks
gosh.
She does. I'm serious. Listen, I'm gonna invite.
But so far the offer hasn't gotten a response yet. But just not too long ago, Iggy claims that she signed a $2 million indie deal on Variety.com.
I said she'd do a glory hole site, like just have her on her knees in a bathroom with a hole in it, and just had different dicks. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like have 3 dicks in the wall lined up in the holes, and just have her go each at one of them like a hamster at a bottle.
Hey guys, I'm gonna invite David Aaron in. He wants to jump on the stream.
That is fine. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
And
get her in a gangbang site too, for real. Get her banged up by like 3 dudes.
Why do you want to see it?
I mean, I'm not familiar with her music career, but I would be more familiar if she did the porno.
she had a few good hits like Fancy and No Mediocre and stuff like that.
Nah.
Like,
Put her on a dog fart site to get it banged up.
I'm in the name from
so
you remember that one, Kenny? Kenny?
Kenny, your homegirl was about to get Kenny, your homegirl was about to get into the biggest rap beef with Raisins in it with Bad Barbie, aka the Catch Me Outside girl.
With a child. That's real beef.
Yeah. No. She paid it no mind.
No, is she legal yet? How old is she?
She's 15. The Catch Me Outside girl is 15 years old. So what happened was Fashion Nova had an exclusive party for Cardi B on the 14th for the opening of her clothing line. And after Iggy Azalea entered the party, Bad Barbie, that's what the fuck she's calling herself, threw her little Capri Sun juice box at Iggy. So she threw her Capri Sun juice box at Iggy. They called it a drink, but I call it a juice box because she's only 15. And Iggy called her lame as hell for that. So
like, how is she getting invited to adult parties to begin with?
Exactly. Like how the fuck she gets invited to parties just because she signed at a fucking label?
It must have been an Atlantic sponsored thing because she is signed to Atlantic and Cardi B is Atlantic and
no, not necessarily so. Like it was Fashion Nova because Cardi B was always bigging up Fashion Nova, but you may be right. But the whole shit started when it was a social media spat. Iggy left a comment on Instagram stating if somebody was going to Bad Barbie's tour, and Homegirl replied back to Iggy saying, "You should come. It would be a good memory for you to see what a sold out show looks like."
I mean, for real though, why are they throwing smoke at this 15-year-old girl? Leave that fucking girl alone.
I mean, you know what? Really? Like, no, Iggy called her lame for that, but she's not gonna waste her time with a 15-year-old time. She said that she's a grown ass woman. What the fuck she's gonna be looking like beefing with a 15-year-old kid?
Nobody fucking should. Hell, Bad Barbie was Bad Baby, but she's beefing with the fucking 9-year-old. What the fuck?
Yeah. The girl, her name is Danielle Bergozzi. She's looking for all the smoke anyway. She's gonna run into the right one though.
Oh, she will. Someone
gonna run into the right one though. She's gonna look for somebody that does not give a fuck. Like I cut kids.
Dude,
she's gonna find the right one.
I guarantee you, Cardi B's sister Hennessy will fuck that chick up.
Hennessy will fuck that bitch up. Oh my goodness. If you ever seen Hennessy in action, woo!
Like,
Cardi B, I don't think Cardi B fights like that, but I know for a fact Hennessy does.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I've seen it. I've seen it before.
Yeah, so that's my ratchet news for today.
But for real, like anybody over the age of 18, you just leave that girl alone. Don't tweet her. Don't mention her. Don't invite her to parties. None of that shit. Like I'm mad that fucking Snoop Dogg replied to her, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
I know that is Snoop. Snoop is old enough to be somebody's grandpa.
I'm like, how the fuck you gonna be someone's grandpa and replying to the Catch Me Outside girl?
Listen. Listen, all this is for the sake of entertainment, mind you.
How old is Snoop Dogg, actually?
He's like in his mid-40s, almost 50.
I think he's old.
No, actually, Snoop is... How old is Snoop? Snoop is what?
Hold on. He's gotta be like 40-something, man.
Hold on. Okay, Google.
No, 40-something.
How old is Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg gotta be like 40...
I'd say 46.
He's 47.
Oh, he's 47, yeah.
I was close.
So what you look like beefing with a girl 30 years younger than you? That's like beefing with one of your kids, yo.
Nah, when they come to my kids, I just beat their ass. I don't be having no. I take no opposition. No opposition.
Exactly.
Get out of my kids.
That shit is
exactly. When it comes to my children, I will choke one of these little bitches.
Hey, Dave, check it out. Wasn't it something you wanted to talk about? Well,
yes.
you want to leave it for your show? Another thing I wanted to advertise Dave's channel on free. Everyone on here, please check out Free Play Mode. His name is David Aaron, longtime friend of mine. He does video game plays. He does product reviews. He's well-rounded, well-informed brother, very smart, very intelligent. Definitely check out his channel, Free Play Mode. I'll be sure to link it in the description below so that everyone can check out his channel. Great guy, wonderful content. You'll love him.
All right, check it out.
Introduce yourself. Let him know everything about your channel. Give him more than what I gave him.
Well, you pretty much just said it, but we got a podcast coming up soon. I'm hoping Danae will be on it because what I want to talk about is 4 things, actually. Sony pulling out of E3.
Right.
Microsoft potentially releasing a diskless system in 2019.
Right.
Microsoft's new acquisitions because they announced that they got 2 new studios at their Xbox Experience thing.
Right.
And also, what else is going on? Since Sony is pulling out of E3, what does that mean for them going forward? So it'll be a decent podcast with some interesting topics. I want to hear what you folks out there have to say about that because these are some pretty earth-shattering, industry-shaping topics.
Absolutely. Kenny, what went on in your week? I heard it just like fucking Hollywood's burning over there.
Oh man, you gotta wear a mask. It's beautiful. I think today was actually the lowest weather point we had. Yesterday was about 160, I'd like to say, on the scale. We have a stupid scale going around where I guess 160 is extremely pollutant, then you get to 200, and then you get to, you know, I think on the record we actually beat Singapore, one of these third world Asian countries for best weather just the other day. So you know we're bad.
Oh, our dear leader was like, "Yo, we gotta protect the flora of the forest, man. We gotta sweep that shit up."
Yeah, you gotta rake the forest. That's
what
what's
a fucking dummy
right now.
Yeah, I know. Of course, rake the
forest.
We gotta rake the forest, y'all. We gotta get it done.
You know, fuck the drought. Never mind the drought that's happening in California. You gotta rake the forest. That's why the wildfires are happening.
Yeah,
my
just
God,
fucking stupid. No, but the skies are. It's actually kind of pretty. If you actually go out and look at it, it has like a nice orange hue by around 3 to 4 p.m. Past the fact you gotta wear a mask, kind of actually enjoy it. Has a nice, almost kind of fuzziness to everything. It's pretty cool looking, actually. Past the toxicity of the air and something I heard about breathing in 200 cigarettes at once in comparison, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, so Kenny, tell the truth. Did you happen to see anybody like be asphyxiated from like the smoke or like all the fucking soot in the air, and you just watched them die?
No, I never do that. I call the ambulance or something.
He would just stand over and be like, "Can you breathe? Y'all got these masks right here, 3 for $5."
Yo, they are selling them for real. They're sold out everywhere. You actually can't make a hustle selling them. People are selling these motherfucking things on Facebook groups and all that shit, man.
And he set it up over this wall
4 for 80.
burning city. He's like, you are weak. You are weak. People dying from inhaling the fucking soot. He's like
tap out to the soot. Tap out.
Because he got pussy lungs. It's not my fault. Hopefully things clear up. We got rain coming this week though, so
that's gonna make it worse.
Well, it'll get mushy. It's always fun.
Oh man. So you know what, guys? Man, we got to get a little bit serious here. Well, not so much serious. It's more so of a sad issue. But for me, it was I was happy to see him pass away. And we're going to talk about Stan Lee. What are you know, each one of you, I want you guys to give your input on how you felt on like what Stan Lee did for you, what he, you know, just what he meant to you as a person, what Stan Lee meant to you as a person.
For me, man, you know, I'm a graphic designer, got my degree in animation and multimedia.
Right.
And like traditional animation and like comic books. You remember the comic book store down there, downtown on Broad Street? That was the spot, man. Like Jim Lee's X-Men, Spider-Man. And I will say this because a lot of people are not bringing this up on podcasts. Like, I'm kind of mad about what Bill Maher said about Stan Lee because that shit wasn't cool.
What'd he say?
Oh, you know what? I heard about that too, and I didn't get a chance to look at that. What did he say?
Check it out. I'm a regular watcher of Bill Maher's show on HBO, and he is flat out saying that he stunted the growth of the millennial, like people born between 1980 and 1997, because of comic book culture and geek behavior and stuff like that.
What is he talking about? That makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly. And I'm like, dude, bruh, like Stan Lee is responsible for a lot of great things in this world. Like not just comic books, but like social behaviors. Like he was like he was very forward thinking. Like he created Black Panther in a time when like big up in black people and not to look.
Not only that, Stan Lee's work has influenced so many writers, directors, producers, sci-fi books, sci-fi movies, to where he laid the foreground. He was a catalyst for whenever you needed to write a good versus evil story or sci-fi. Pretty much every sci-fi film you have watched up until to this date has had some Stan Lee influences involved in it.
That's true. Like even
Star Wars, even when it comes to Star Wars.
Like even X-Men, because a lot of people don't know that X-Men was his take on the whole civil rights movement. Like Professor Xavier was supposed to be Dr. Martin Luther King, and Magneto.
Dr. Martin Luther King and Magneto was supposed to be Malcolm
X. Yeah, because that's how he viewed like the civil rights movement. He views it as the same side of like a coin, like with two sides, but trying to portray like they both want the same thing, but different methods in trying to get the same thing.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
And like the man was a straight up genius. And like plus he tried to blame the rise of Trump on Stan Lee. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
Man?
How's that make any sense?
What? Please explain that to me. What was he saying?
That's interesting.
Like he credits like the whole Proud Boy movement to
God
and shit like that. And
you sure this is Bill Maher that said that?
You know, watch the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher. That shit legitimately pissed me off.
He's reaching pretty far.
Yeah, dude, that's like a fucking Elastic Man reaching to the next fucking.
Bill Maher's a dick. He can be a dick sometimes. He really can.
Well, for you, I think your mic went out, Dave.
Like he said some real wild and off the hook shit, yo.
Right.
And like it's one of those things that you have to watch in order to believe what he said.
That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. How about you, Mika? What are your feelings towards Stan Lee? What did he mean to you? What did he bring?
Pretty much how everybody else feels. Like he was a catalyst, and how like pop culture and all, like he was a catalyst for that. Little did I know that he did a short stint in DC Comics as well. Yeah. He started a comic book called Just Imagine, and I was reading about it, and it had the characters like how Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, like they were all recreated by Stan Lee.
Right.
Batman was black. Wonder Woman was Latina. Who else? Because I wrote it all down. The Flash was a woman. Like he done recreated the whole DC comic lineup, and he is such a genius for that. I love him for that. And then on top of that, he's all around funny. But at the same time, like he was going through a lot when we was talking before we got on the air. Right. He was going through a lot. And I felt his pain and he suffered. So I'm in the same boat as you, Danae. I'm glad that he passed. He doesn't have to suffer anymore, But like he's going to be missed a lot. And it's going to be kind of hard not seeing him in Marvel movies anymore because he's usually in each and every one. So
you know what would be dope though? Because Deadpool would be like legitimately the only Marvel character who would know who Stan Lee is.
Right.
He could take over the Stan Lee cameo. Like,
exactly. I totally agree. Because of the him breaking the fourth wall. and everything like that, it would definitely come into play with a lot of Stan Lee, like, you know, making his appearances, so on and so forth. I think it would work.
It should just be like, I'm sorry, Stan Lee couldn't be here, but I'll take his place and put on like a big mustache.
Exactly. It'll also make people, it'll make people laugh, and you know, and stuff like that, because you know he'll probably tell some like tongue-in-cheek jokes in terms of Stan Lee. You know, it would be great. That's a great idea. That's a very.
I have a question for you guys. What's your favorite Stan Lee cameo?
All right. Oh, I'm gonna go with the first Stan Lee cameo, Mallrats.
Wow.
You remember the one with Mallrats where he was like, yeah, I wrote this. He was like, and he was like, wait, aren't you? He was like, yeah, but don't tell anybody. I remember that. I remember that.
Like, that was the cameo before Stan Lee cameos were a thing.
Right.
I think one of my favorite cameos was the one. Was it Spider-Man? Which one? What was his name? Not the one with not the one with Tobey Maguire, the other one, the one that was the one after Tobey Maguire that I absolutely love.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, when he was in the library, and he was steady putting up the books and everything, he cleaned it up and everything while he was fighting the lizard in there in the library. I think it was. That was my favorite. You don't remember that one? Nobody remembers that one?
I do. He was fighting
yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorites. The other one was the one in the Incredible Hulk, the second one, I think it was. Well, I think he was
Ed Norton one.
Yeah,
the reboot one.
Yeah,
like the other Stan Lee cameo that I loved was in the first Deadpool movie when he was the DJ in the strip club.
Yeah. That was awesome. That's right. Yeah, that one was awesome. Yep.
My favorite is a toss-up between Ant-Man and Big Hero 6.
Right, yep. He was in Big Hero 6. Absolutely.
Yes, he was.
A lot of people don't realize that's a spin-off from a Marvel title.
What happened?
A lot of people don't realize that Big Hero 6 is an actual Marvel comic book.
Well, of course, we know because we know, you know, Sunfire was in it. It was pretty much like who was it? Silver Samurai, Sunfire was a couple of classic like Marvel superheroes in there. You know, in Big Hero 6. And that's where I think Fing Fang Foom got his start at. If I'm not
That's just a fun name.
Yeah, but it's so racist. It is so fucking racist. It's so racist. That's why you don't really see him in the comics anymore. You remember in the 90s and the 80s.
They're like, we gotta
all the time. I'm telling you.
Like, we gotta figure out a way to get this motherfucker back in the comic books, but we gotta rename him. But it can't be racist.
Fin Fang Foom ain't appropriate no more.
Nah, you know that. That's like saying nigga chicken watermelon hero.
Nah, not that blatant. That would be like saying Spade Coon watermelon.
Or either Jordan's watermelon chicken. Be like, motherfucker, I know what the fuck that means. No, it's a villain. It's a villain, bro. Don't take it too personal. Calm down. Motherfucker.
Oh my God, y'all's a mess.
Yeah. So, Kenny,
what's yours, Kenny?
What does Stan Lee mean to you, Kenny?
On the quick end, he meant the free dinner because he was my pick and me and my buddy's death pool. So I want a free meal out the whole thing. But on the long term, man, it is pretty sad because everyone pretty much does grow up with the guy's comics and whatnot. They see him in movies pretty much in every Marvel release and whatnot. So it's gonna be something else not to see many movies from here on out.
Yeah. I'm a miss the guy. I'm a really miss the guy. But no, go ahead, Kenny. Finish. I'm sorry.
I said, but the vultures were circling, so it's.
Man, who you telling, Kenny?
Absolutely.
Who you telling? Like after his wife died, forget it.
Well, see, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give you. Once you finish, Kenny, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on.
No, go ahead. I'm pretty much done.
Stan Lee, to me, as a child, I loved all comic books. I loved even graphic novels, books, and everything. But Stan Lee, to me, I felt as though I could relate more to his material because of the simple fact that it was more urban based. You know,
yes.
And in terms of like, don't get me wrong, I've always loved DC as well. but I love Marvel because at one point as a child I lived in New York.
It was realistic.
Yeah, I lived in Brooklyn and stuff like that. And, you know, like the streets he would mention, like Yancey Street or like certain streets he would mention and stuff. He would even, and because if you remember in the early comic books of the, in the early comics of, what was that? Daredevil and stuff like that. Remember, sometimes, if you remember David Aaron, sometimes you would see Daredevil stop on over in Chinatown and get something to eat at the Wohop. You know what I'm saying? At the Wohop and stuff like that. So I was able to literally like immerse myself as a kid into this like lore. And I'd be like, oh, wow, this is right where the Fantastic Four building would probably be and stuff like that. So, I mean, Stan Lee really made, how can I say, sci-fi cool for me, because he would literally put blocks that you know, or areas that you know, or have been to, or would visit into his lore, or make, and, you know, incorporate it into his universe. Whereas though DC didn't. And don't get me wrong, I love DC. I love them both. There's really no, I don't love one more than the other. But as a child growing up, Stan Lee definitely made me feel like this is really centered towards me. And yeah, there were more black superheroes on the DC, I mean, on the Marvel side that I could relate to. And no, I didn't always relate to Black Panther. One of my favorites was Deathlock. You know what I'm saying? Growing up as a kid, because I loved Bionic Man. I loved cyborgs. I loved anything like that, you know. And then there were other characters, but he just meant so much to me, He also got me into doing a little bit of voice work and stuff like that. Using Stan Lee's type of narration, I was able to do like small little voice work here and there. Like I did like a stand-in voice for Big Guy and Rusty. Not that it's important or anything, but I will always keep him in mind of how boisterous his voice would be and how he would really be like getting the character, like, this time, true believers, and we have, you know, it was just like, he set the tone, even when I was doing artwork and everything like that. Him, Jack Kirby, and all that other stuff. The way they would like just have the characters drawn, everything. He meant a lot to me. Stan Lee meant a lot. But as with all heroes, they must, or as all icons that you look up to, eventually they have to meet their demise. And the way he met his demise was anything short but of being horrendous, deplorable, disgusting, distasteful, unhonorable. And it wasn't due to his own factors. It was due to the people he had around him.
Right?
Especially his daughter. Everybody does. Nobody.
Oh my God.
Everybody.
His daughter was the worst.
Mentions her, and she was the worst one. She was the worst one. Trust me. Trust me. You know, it was one time I was gonna go to one of the signings. Right. This was like this was more recent. I was gonna go to one of the signings. And I think he was doing a signing somewhere. I think it was in New York or something like that. It wasn't in New York. No, it wasn't. It was somewhere like I was definitely going to just catch a plane, because New York, I could just drive there. But I was definitely going to go to one of the signings. And when I went there, I didn't get to make it there, but I watched the video, and you literally saw this man struggling to sign these autographs. And his managers and everything just kept making him sign it, kept making him sign it, to where like he passed out at one point. And then woke back up again, and he still tried to keep on signing. I said, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. They worked that man to death. They all leached off of him. They all ate off his fucking corpse. I'm telling you, it was horrible. So yeah, when he passed away, I wasn't sad. I was actually happy to see he was no longer suffering anymore. Stan Lee had it rough towards the end. He had it rough. And what got me is that you have these big corporations like Disney and these other actors that are making money off of him and stuff like that. The only one that really was stepping up was what's his name from Clerks?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith was batting for him like crazy. He was like, yo, come live with me. But then Kevin Smith had a heart attack, and he knew. You know what I'm saying? But it was bad. It was real bad.
Just because Kevin Smith like considers that man like his
father.
Yeah.
He was crying.
That is like his idol, man. That's like Kevin Smith. When you hear Kevin Smith talk about Stan Lee, it is like listening to someone talk about their father that they love dearly.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. He was crying. He was crying when he heard what was going on. And the thing about it is that you had other YouTubers as well that was getting factual information on the situations that's going. Even though certain media outlets tried to shroud or hide what was happening to Stan Lee, you had certain YouTubers that were like putting it out there, like, look, this is what it is. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. Here's like court documentation of what he's going through right now. He was just admitted into such and such and such and such. This person right here. Oh no, this is the paperwork when his daughter like literally got physical with him because he wouldn't give her any more money, or like things were held up in like escrow, or like, you know, he couldn't touch certain money because certain things didn't clear because he didn't allow his daughter to work. You do know that.
Yep.
He didn't allow her to work. He always told her that he would take care of her. So she felt as though that she was entitled to everything that he had.
That was a bad move.
Right. Right.
The wife,
and,
the wife.
Not to mention also, I think like his ex-business partner,
yeah,
put him in a home and made him lose all contact with like family and friends and everything.
Yep.
In order to get like $50 million out the whole deal or something like that, in case he passes away or something like that. I don't know how the story goes, but.
And then the thing about it, you know, when you put people in those homes, they don't last too long. They don't last too long. They're not going to last that long.
Right.
Like these hospice homes are not set up to do
not at all. Not at all. In actuality, that's you're literally signing off a death sentence for your parents or whoever you send there. They're going to die. They're not going to live there years and years and years. They may have maybe like a year, 2, maybe 3 tops, but they will die. Because like the food they give them there, the care that they give them, the abuse, and yeah, a lot of elderly get abused in those hospice homes and shit like that. In those facilities, they get abused something terribly because the staff usually be like ghetto ass motherfuckers or people who don't give a fuck and shit like that.
Yeah, these are like CNAs making like $9 an hour.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then not to mention, you know, like the sexual harassment these nurses are doing.
Yeah, it'd be old people in there getting fucked. I'm serious. They be literally getting raped and shit like that. They be fucking them old people, man. I'll be like, man, you'll hear like sometimes you're like, hey, pity my ass and shit like that. No, because look, and you know, not to deviate. My mother had went to a rehabilitation center for a short stint, and I snatched her ass out of there, man, because it'd be all sorts of shit going on in there, man. Like it'd be all sorts of shit. Them elderly motherfuckers do be getting it in too. They be fucking. I'm not lying. They be fucking. Because my mother, she called me up. She's like, they in there. I was like, all right, mom, I'm gonna come get you. I got her out of there. You know what I'm saying? But my mother was shutting them down, and they wasn't liking that shit because like they be in the hallway. And she said this one motherfucker just started rubbing at the old lady's leg and stuff, and then she said they like spun off in the wheelchair and shit like that.
Oh no!
I was like, Mom, no, they not. She was like, they in here fucking. I was like, all right, let me get you out of there.
They're old, not dead.
Yeah, I know, but like, come on.
Yo, man, I just saw a video of like an elderly gentleman getting head from another.
I saw that video too.
That shit
get slopped up.
And I mean, like he was getting knobbed off. I was like, oh man, that's bad, bro.
I like to you know, too, towards the end, he kind of patted her head like you're doing a good job. It's really, really sweet.
Yeah, man, that's bad. I was like, that's bad dope, bro.
Are you talking about the one with that old dude? Like, no.
No. This is from old folks' home.
The show's over. I'll send it to you.
No. Don't send it to me. I don't want to see that.
Well, you don't see much. You just see the elderly gentleman standing up, and then you see the like an old woman's head bobbing up and down while he kind of guides her gently.
I still don't want to see that. I enjoy sex and
dude was in the nursing home getting gummed.
Just doing it, man.
I don't need to see that.
Jawline for real.
He was finishing.
Yeah, she was necking him.
Oh my god!
I do not need to see that. I don't.
No. In peace, Stan Lee. We love you. You know, I'm glad you're no longer suffering. Yeah. Thank you for creating the universes you have that will pass the test of time. Thank you for everything you offer to us. We love you. We'll miss you. But I'm not sad that you're dead. I'm not sad that you're dead. Not only that, he was 95 fucking years old. How old do you think this motherfucker gonna live? Like, I mean, fuck, shit. 95. We could only hope.
That's a long ass life.
You know what I'm saying? We could only hope to reach that age.
Sorry, I don't want to live beyond a time where I'm existing. You know, if I can't live, I don't want to live.
Exactly.
That man has seen 2 world wars, a few wars actually.
Exactly.
Civil rights movement.
For real.
Black president. He's seen a lot in his time. Like, yeah, he lived a good life.
This man
he really did
a lot. Like, come on. I don't want to. I wouldn't. I don't. I'm like David, man. I wouldn't want to live that long. I really wouldn't want to live that long to that point right there. And you know what? Right here, it has a. I went to Wikipedia. It has an article on Stan Lee right here, and it pretty much tells. I'm not going to read everything, just some of it, and I'll share it with you guys so that you can see it right here. And it says, Stan Lee from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Stan Lee, born Stanley Martin Lieber, December 28, 1922, November 12, 2018, was an American comic book writer, editor, and publisher who was active from 1940s to the 2010s. He rose through the ranks of a family-run business to become Marvel Comics, primary creative leader for 2 decades, leading its expansion from a small division of a publishing house to a multimedia corporation that dominated the comics industry. In collaboration with others at Marvel, particularly co-writers and artists Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, he co-created numerous popular fictional characters, including superheroes Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Black Panther, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, and Ant-Man. In doing so, he pioneered a more naturalistic approach to writing superhero comics in the 1950s and then the 1970s. He challenged the restrictions of the Comic Code Authority, indirectly leading to changes in its policies. In the 1980s, he's pursued development of Marvel properties and other media with mixed results. Following his retirement from Marvel in the 1990s, he remained a public figurehead for the company and frequently made cameo appearances in movies based on Marvel characters, on which he received an honorary executive producer credit. Meanwhile, he continued independent creative ventures into the 90s until his death in 2018. Lee was inducted into the Comic Book Industry Will Eisner Award Hall of Fame in 1994 and the Jack Kirby Hall of Fame in 1995. He received the NEA's National Medal of Arts in 2008. They have an awesome picture of Stan Lee right here. I'm going to miss this guy, but not for just for the fact that I won't see him, but not for the fact of wanting him to live on. He was suffering. He was suffering. And, it goes on further here to go further and, to tell you more about his life and what he did, his achievements, how he grew up. And if you want to, you can check him out on Wikipedia. Wikipedia has a pretty much in-depth overview of his life and all of his achievements and stuff like that. And wow, look at him in 1975. Look at him. Look at him with that piece on.
Got the porn stash.
Porn stash.
Yeah, man.
But I will say this, I won't miss Stan Lee because his works will be around us forever.
Right, absolutely. When we're long dead and gone, his work will be here.
His works will transcend him as a person and keep him alive in everybody's hearts for decades and decades and decades to come. So he won't be missed because in a way he'll still be here even though he's physically not here anymore.
Yeah. And right here, I mean, you can read this because I got this article right here from WNCT9 and it speaks about the atrocities that were pretty much done to him. Well, not this one right here. It was one I had up here. Okay, yeah, the serious allegations right here. This one speaks about Stan Lee's stuff that we've already went across. But if you want to check this out, it's at the at bleedingcool.com right here. And I'll leave a link down in the description below and you can read it. It's actually saddening. It's very sad. It's very sad of how this man was done. It's very sad. Not the ending I'd wish for. Believe me when I tell you. Not the ending I'd wish for at all. But he definitely made his mark on this earth, unlike any other human being or any person that's a person that created anything. Nobody will outdo Stan Lee. No one. Not even George Lucas. And I love George Lucas for creating Star Wars. But even when you look at Star Wars, Star Wars was based off of a lot of Marvel comic or Stan Lee lore. It was. So, I mean, he'll be missed. He'll be sorely missed. So, farewell, Stan Lee. We love you, man. We love you, brother. All right, moving right along. I don't know if I want to get into I don't know if you know what. Let's talk about hey Mika. Let's talk about 50 Cent buys Jarules.
Yay, King Petty!
You know that's my fucking spirit animal, right?
That's a hell of a move.
I love 50 Cent. 50 Cent ain't
King
shit.
Petty! King. Now, it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor because the last time that we heard 50 Cent, like bought all of Jarules seats, 200 of Jarules seats in the concert and everything like that. So now 50 Cent is talking about buying.
This nigga the worst, yo. 50 Cent the worst. I got
50 Cent is talking about buying all of Jarules masters.
Overkill right there. Tremendous.
So all of his songs. Now it's just a rumor. We don't know if it's true or not. But if he does that, this man is the Thanos level petty.
Yeah, man.
I will commend this
man. I love 50 Cent. I love him, man. I love how
50 is the fucking people. 50 is the fucking worst. 50
What a wonderful move.
What are your thoughts on it, David?
Honestly, like, fuck, man. Like, he be hashing speech that happened, like, fucking 15 years ago, bro. I'm like, bro, you in your mid-40s. It's time to, like, move on from that shit.
Nah, man. Nah, some people
I like it.
get shit.
I like it.
Some people get shit. And
not 50.
Like, this to me just tells me, like, if it's true, it's just it's just like
powerful move.
It's not even a powerful move. It's just 50 desperate to remain in the limelight because
Operation Overkill.
He got killed off on his own show. He ain't put out a record that was worth a shit in like 10 years.
Oh, 50?
Yeah, 50.
Oh, but 50's still that nigga.
So it's still literally owning someone's shit.
It don't matter.
Tremendous.
50 always.
But you know what though? You know what though? 50 don't even really need a music career anymore because he's doing well with power.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why he's around and bully up.
That's the thing I disagree with Mika. Like, he's doing this to stay relevant because he doesn't have a music career anymore. And like, yeah, he's making money moves, but he had to declare bankruptcy, so someone is eating off of his shit.
That's a smart man. That's a smart man. He's making sure nobody ain't taking his fucking money. I would declare bankruptcy too. And he's still rich. I would declare bankruptcy too. If I knew a motherfucker that is just trying to take my hard-earned money or my hard-earned shit, oh no, hell no. Bankrupt. Fuck it. Bankrupt. It's cheaper to file for bankruptcy than to pay this motherfucker.
Like that, just because you declare bankruptcy don't mean you don't gotta pay it back. You still gotta pay the shit back. They just
you got the right attorney. That bankruptcy shit, if it goes the right way, if you have the right attorney, trust me, all that shit go away. Even motherfuckers trying to collect on you goes away. I declare.
They still put him on a payment plan. You still got to pay that shit.
Right, cool. And imagine, trust me when I tell you, because I read on how much the payment plan was. That person is mad as fuck as to what he's paying. He has a certain amount of time to pay that amount back. And what he did was stretch that shit out to like on some old light shit. That's why his son mad at him. That's why other motherfuckers is mad at him. 50's a smart man. He has smart people in his corner. Trust me when I tell you. He may seem hood and shit like that. That man is intelligent as fuck. Believe me.
I'm not denying that the man is not smart. I'm not saying that he's stupid. I'm just saying he needs to grow the fuck up.
Nah.
we don't need the black version of Donald Trump walking around here for real.
Oh man, we ain't even gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. But I mean, it is. I love him. I love him. That's my spirit animal right there. I love him. That's my fucking spirit animal. I love that motherfucker.
Ain't better.
50 ain't shit. So look,
who said 50 ain't shit?
Me. I love him. Mika put that shit up there. She said, this nigga petty as fuck. It said 50 Cent talks to buy Jarules match.
Public shit.
That public shit. 50 Cent is planning on delivering the death blow. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Okay, let's get rid of it. 50 Cent is planning on delivering the death blow to rival rapper Ja Rule by buying the rights to all his music. The rapper mogul is reported to be currently in talks to purchase the masters and publishing to all of Ja Rule's hit records. According to online reports, 50 Cent is closing in on buying all of the masters and publishing rights to multiple hit records that Ja made during his heyday. There's no word yet on price, but online reports say that Curtis Jackson may pay as much as 7 figures for the songs. The report claims that 50 is negotiating directly with Def Jam, which owns the rights to most of Ja Rule's music. If 50 is successful in the purchase, 50 will receive royalties every time that Ja Rule's classic records get streamed or sold additionally.
That's not true because fucking Irv Gotti owns the masters, not Def Jam.
Yeah, but I think that 50 bought Murder Inc. out.
Exactly. Yep. I was getting ready to tell you. He
owns the name Murder Inc. He doesn't own the assets of Murder Inc.
I mean nothing. Irv Gotti had to change the name. Irv Gotti doesn't own Murder Inc. anymore. Irv Gotti had to change the name because 50 bought the name.
No, like they changed it to the Inc. because of some other shit. That wasn't because of 50 bought it. That shit happened like in the mid 2000s, well before this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They said this isn't the first time that 50 used his fortune to hit back at his longtime rival Ja Rule. Last week, 50 told fans that he would buy 200 front row tickets in order to ensure that Ja Rule's show would be empty.
Y'all still got paid though, so
he don't. It's still, but and even if you look at it like this, that's
he put money in Ja's pocket just to be paid.
That's the whole thing. You don't understand. His hate runs deep. His hate runs deep, and I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So shout out to 50 for keeping it 100. Keeping it 100. Keeping it 100, my nigga. Keep it 100. I love 50. 50 for president. 50 for fucking president. He was like, nah, nigga, ain't listening good. You know what? Buy that motherfucking music, yeah.
Like, I care about 50 when he make me a fucking new song, man. That's what I want to hear.
Like, you know the thing about it is, I just picture 50 like 50 just sitting in the chair. He like, buy that motherfucking music, yo. Buy that motherfucking music.
That's just so it's like 50 and Ja Rule is like two bitches fighting. It's like watching an episode of Melrose Place.
Yo, it's like this is like Rihanna and fucking Cardi B fighting.
I love it.
Janae lives for this shit, so he don't care.
I love it. I love it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Yes, you know. Yo, is that motherfucker dead? Remember the guy that used to say, "Let's get him." He's dead, right?
Oh,
the fight announcer. What was he?
No, he's not.
Bruce Buffer.
No,
Bruce Buffer's brother, Michael Buffer. No,
the old one. He used to be like,
the referee. No,
Mills Lane.
Judge Mills Lane. I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, moving right along. Next story is next topic is new Ghostbusters confirmed by Dan Aykroyd. Since I loved the last Ghostbusters,
you're trash, sir.
Dan Aykroyd is going to do a new one.
See, I think he got if he's not the one directing it and writing it, then I don't care about it.
You didn't like the last one, did you?
I saw it.
No,
I saw it, and it was a bad movie simply because it was a bad movie. It wasn't. I
didn't care for the last Ghostbusters. I mean, it doesn't have the same feeling, like the original 4. And then on top of that, Dan Aykroyd's talking about making a Ghostbusters 3, but how is that going to be the same? Like Egon Spengler is gone.
No, you can do it.
There's no
Like,
guarantee.
Just write
Bill
it in.
Murray's
Just say he
gonna be
died in
in
the
it.
story too.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
if you've played the Ghostbusters video game,
It can
that's
literally
pretty.
go anywhere because, for one thing, they deal in a lot of interdimensional traveling, and it's a lot of spiritism and everything involved. So therefore, and even if you've read the books, like the comic books and the books that I've been reading since like for like well over like 15 years now and stuff like that, you know, different writers and shit, the Ghostbusters franchise gets passed down. It gets passed down. It was that one book where like what was his name? Winston would like kind of like send them out to do work and stuff like that because he's real old. So I mean, like, it can go anywhere. It can go anywhere. So in a way, if you read the books, like, and a lot of people didn't read the Ghostbusters book, how I looked at the one with the female cast was just a different universe of Ghostbusters. Because if you read the books, they're always running into different universes now. Like, because they've actually done a book where they ran into the Star Trek guys. They've done a book where like it's just it's a culmination of like different things or like different universes that the Ghostbusters happen to run into. And a lot of it was opened up by Gozer the Gozerian. So I mean, like, you know, yeah. But it says right here on GhostbustersNews.com that new Ghostbusters being written by Now Plus will reunite original cast, says Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd was the special guest on last night's episode of AXS TV's A Big Interview with Dan Rather. Obviously, Ghostbusters was a topic of discussion, with some possible Ghostbusters 3 news once again bubbling to the surface. Now, see, here's where I find a little controversy at, because if you play the Ghostbusters video game, it is canon. That Ghostbusters video game is canon, and it was considered Ghostbusters 3. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. So it says, Aykroyd said there is a possibility of a reunion with the 3 remaining Ghostbusters. It's being written right now. Aykroyd also touched on the possibility of Bill Murray returning. I think Billy will come. The story is so good, even if he plays a ghost. Folks, we've been hearing rumors like this, more importantly, news stories like this for roughly 20 years. When love Dan, you love Dan, but until Sony officially comes out and backs a new Ghostbusters film, don't get too excited. Would you like to see the original return once last time? Somebody did some for it. Let us know via the Ghostbusters News Facebook page. It has a whole bunch of merch here and stuff like that. And I do follow this channel right here, the Ghostbusters channel. I'm
like,
very
thing.
fan.
I don't know.
I would want to see a Dan Aykroyd and a Dan Aykroyd directed Ghostbusters. I'd want to see that. I would not want to see a Paul Feig directed.
Right, I understand.
This is the thing. You've got Melissa McCarthy out here, and what's the black chick's name? I forgot her fucking
Leslie
name.
Jones.
You got those two out here still caping for their version of the Ghostbusters, trying to say, oh, it failed because people couldn't accept that there were women Ghostbusters. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. If you watch any Ghostbusters cartoon, read any Ghostbusters comics, you would know they're a female Ghostbuster. So that argument is bullshit. People didn't like the movie because those who saw the movie saw a bad fucking movie. Like that, like if you watch the movie, the only person who stayed in character was fucking Christian Wiig. The rest of them was just Leslie Jones and Melissa McCarthy and the other chick in a Ghostbusters movie playing themselves. And
yeah.
It was like 90% ad libs and it was shitty. And the movie disregards its own lore for the sake of trying to be a quote unquote cool movie, and it's a horrible movie. And those two can't accept that they were simply in a bad fucking movie.
I mean,
like every time the movie started to gain its own legs and do something original, it would take that left turn to like, oh, this is a Ghostbusters movie. Let's do a callback from the old Ghostbusters movies to remind you that this is a Ghostbusters movie, slowing down any momentum that the movie gained just to do that. And the other thing I didn't like about it is that they pussied out on calling Christian Wiig's character gay. It was blatantly obvious to anyone who fucking saw the movie. And like, just say that she's fucking gay. Everybody knows it. Just say it. But they were like, no. Like, come on, bro. Don't go. If you're gonna do that, just come out and say that the character's gay. Don't drop hints. Don't make illusions. Don't have them behave in a certain way. Just say that the character is gay.
They left it ambiguous.
Yeah.
It's not even fucking ambiguous. They
Well,
just
how gay was he? Was
say
it?
Katie, your thoughts on?
I never saw the fucking movie and don't plan to, man.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I'm making a new Ghostbusters.
Oh, the
movie.
new one? Fuck it. Why not? I'll check it out. I wouldn't mind a new one if they ignored the last one. I mean, fuck it. Why not? Before any of them kick the bucket or any more of them kick the bucket.
What do you think of What do you think of Did you okay, so we'll take this last Ghostbusters movie and we'll slowly just like put that in the closet and close the door. So out of the first two Ghostbusters,
put it in the closet, put some lighter fluid on it, and burn that motherfucker.
I didn't like the last one.
I don't know.
I didn't like it at all.
It's times. Well, I mean, like it's times I've watched it. I've watched it like since it's been on DVD or on digital download. I watched it around about like 4 times. Again, after that, yeah, there are some parts in it where I'm just like, what the fuck? Especially like the dance scene at the end and all that other shit. It was completely unnecessary. But
like, if you could do all that shit, why didn't you just possess the Ghostbusters from the beginning and fucking kill them?
Yeah, right. But I was about to tell you. I mean, ask this question right here. Out of the first 2 Ghostbusters film, which one was your favorite?
First one.
Me too.
First one.
I couldn't stand the second one, especially that Bobby Brown. I hated that song. I so hated that song. That Bobby Brown song. What the fuck does that have to do with Ghostbusters? Like I was just like, what the fuck?
I didn't hate
You know, like the Statue of Liberty at the end.
Yeah, like I thought it was special effects in part 2 were worse than part 1.
See, I didn't hate part 2, but I recognized part 2 for what it was, and it was the.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't as great as the first one. Like the second one was purely a cash grab, attempting to capitalize on what was popular at the time. Nintendo zombie movies and like fucking blob movies.
Horrible.
I guess.
Horrible. I hated it. And I was excited to go see that Ghostbusters. I went and saw that shit. I was mad. I think I got into a fight. I got into a fight outside the movie.
Where did you go? To Castle?
Of course. You know, I stayed at the Castle. I stayed at all. That's my, you know what? I've come to understand, not to deviate again. I gravitate towards fucked up shit. Yesterday was a perfect example, letting me know that I gravitate towards fucked up shit. I've just come to that understanding because I went to this Burger King and it was like a wrinkle in fucking time. This Burger King,
the Elizabeth Avenue Burger King.
Oh no, David, this shit was like it was just like nigga heaven. It was just like the word. This
motherfucker said nigga heaven.
It was when I first went in there, and I saw it when I pulled up too. And I had mad options. It was Mexican restaurants, all sorts of shit along the strip. Nah, then they got to go to that fucked up spot. This shit didn't even have like symbols on the fucking, like, you know, like letters on the fucking signs and shit. The lights was dim inside of there and shit like that. The staff was fucking terrified. They was just pretty much giving motherfuckers whatever they asked for. Like, you know, and like they'll be like, yo, I need another burger. They just give it to them because they ain't.
Go. This is why you should have came over. You should have came over my sister's house, D. We had Little Caesars. We had like 2 big ass plates of.
I was about to come over there, but you know what? I didn't want to crack because I was right. Actually, you said you was in Union, right?
Yes.
I was right on.
You should have came over.
Yeah, I don't. But you know what? You know what would have happened. I got over there. I'd have saw your sister and everything, and I'd be like, yo, so what? Mika be like, that's my sister. I'd be like, Mika, move. I'm just move. I'm talking to.
Her husband would have said something too.
I'd have broke his jaw. No bullshit. I'd have broke your brother-in-law's jaw. You're like, this
okay. Fuck around with the West Indian men.
Man, I'm African. I'm Nigerian. We wilder than them motherfuckers. We don't give a fuck.
Oh, what?
Nigerian warlord, and General butt naked. I'm General Butt Naked Son, John Mongrel.
You are the worst.
I know.
swear.
You love me though. You know you love me.
Love you too.
Yeah. But look, check it out. Check it out. Yeah, I went into that fucking Burger King. That shit was the fucking worst, bro. It was a woman wiping some shit off her ass and shit like that on pajama pants. Then I'm sitting down in there eating. And you know what the thing about it is? I knew this place was bad. Like, you know what? I feel bad at home in this motherfucker. The niggas were so terrified. They gave me, I said, let me get a double Whopper with extra vegetables on it. Because I like my burgers to have a lot of lettuce and tomatoes and shit like that on it, right? They just gave me 2 big ass patties. They ain't put no mayonnaise on it. They just put a bunch of lettuce and shit. And they just gave me shit. They were just giving me shit, right? So I said, could I? And I said, ma'am. I said, sir. I said, could I have some? Y'all didn't put no cheese and nothing on it. He's like, he just took it. I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? Then a group of motherfucking girls came in. They had just ran from the Elizabeth police because they peoples had just robbed somebody, and they was in there talking about it because the dudes came in afterwards. I said, man, let me get the fuck out of here. I said, before you know it, I'm gonna get sucked into this bullshit. I got a way of getting sucked into shit that don't be having shit to do with me, man. So I was like, you know what? Let me get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I took like 2 more bites of the burger, threw it down on the table, left everything on the table and shit like that. But I kind of like look back at the place like, damn, I'm gonna miss this shit. Shithole. It's a shithole. I feel like I was right at home. No bullshit. I felt right at home in that fucking place. I had on, what did I have? I think I had on some jeans and shit. I'm just eating the burger. I'm talking on the fucking phone and shit. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? The fucking staff back there like this, they nervous. I was like, why would you work in a place like this that you terrified of? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the motherfuckers that was coming in there was nothing but crackheads and fucking old, like 2 old people, but like these was all like, it was just like, I've never seen a Burger King like this. Not in Jersey. Jersey don't got Burger Kings like that anymore. Like shithole fucking Burger Kings.
Where were you at?
Elizabeth, New Jersey. Right on Morris Avenue. It's right
on York Avenue.
Nah, Morris Avenue, right on Morris Avenue. It's like, put it like this.
Were you on the fucking were you on the Roselle Park side?
It's right, where is it at? It's right by the Tropicana. You know the Tropicana? Right,
yeah.
Like a couple of houses, like a couple of fucking project buildings down from that bitch. It's one of them shits like, as soon as the health inspector come through there, that's gonna be that it's gonna get shut down. I know it is.
Maybe the health inspector knows to stay away.
They keep the ketchup packets and shit behind the counter. You gotta like
who's selling ketchup packets, man?
Ketchup dispensers there, like the machine. Kids be coming in there just drinking. I was like, this shit hood as fuck. This shit hood as fuck, and I love it. I said, I love this shit.
You just walked in and went like,
yeah, they was like, can I get a courtesy cup? They just gave it to them.
You just like,
from anybody came in there. They ain't want shit to do with them. They just gave it to them. Motherfuckers placing orders, like they'll place a number, get a number 1. They got like 3 burgers sitting on the tray with large fries and 2 cups. They just give it to these niggas. They don't want no sauce. Yeah, but yeah, moral of the story is don't go to the fucking Burger King on Elizabeth in Elizabeth on Morris Avenue. It's 439. It's 439 Morris Avenue, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Don't go to that motherfucker unless you want a hood experience and get some.
The next time I be in Jersey, I'm gonna call you, D.
Yeah, we going to that motherfucker because I want you to witness that shit too. So you know what I'm saying? We all gonna live a horror. Whoever come through, we going to Burger King first.
I have no problem with that.
You need to open up the hood tour adventures, yo. Just take white people.
You know, I don't think motherfuckers, because you know what? It's not until I record this shit that motherfuckers be believing me.
Just take white people through the hood. Be like, yo, I'm gonna give you a hood tour experience.
All right, if you make it through this shit, you get a hood pass, and I get you.
No, don't do that because once you do that, they're gonna start.
Look, I either give them a free White Castle meal or a free Burger King meal.
You got a choice at the Morris Avenue Burger King or the White Castle down in Orange.
Ooh, White Castle.
Yeah, no, white kid. But see, you know what, Mika, you so sheltered, my little beautiful.
You ain't never been to the White Castle in Orange.
You ain't been in the one in Orange, baby. You ain't been in the one in Orange, baby. You get it. You get a number 2 and a knockout at that motherfucker. No bullshit. And I mean, they'll literally knock your ass out while you in the car.
Like that White Castle in Orange is like the legit after the club spot, and everybody goes there after the club.
They don't let you congregate there no more. They don't let that shit happen at all no more. They be stopping that shit. Like before, remember after the club let out, everybody be there. Bitches, niggas, all that shit, everything be there. Not no more. They don't let that shit. You start piling up there, the police want keep it moving. And they be having
oh no, when I was up there for the wedding, man, I went down to the Orange one.
They be having the shotguns, they be like,
they was deep in the parking lot, man.
They're like, keep it moving. No bullshit. They'll be smiling at that. You be like, hey, officer, like, fuck out of here. Keep it moving. The fuck out of here.
Lord,
they be them old big square white boys too. They be big as fuck. They be like, all right. So moving right along. What's the next one? Oh yeah. What's this? We did the one Iggy do porn. Mika, tell us about that Star Trek cruise.
Oh, I don't know if there's any seats left. Damn. Where's my other book at? There's supposed to be a Star Trek cruise on from like January 4th to the 10th.
Yeah.
And fuck. What the fuck did I do with this? All right, it's January 4th to the 10th, 2019. It's stopping at Miami,
right.
Great Stirrup Cay, the Cayman Islands, in Jamaica. The crew is going to be some of the cast from some of the Star Trek shows from Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all that. They're going to have autograph and photograph sessions, game shows, a museum of all the memorabilia. They're going to have shit for singles and scavenger hunts, and they're going to have like Klingon pajama jams, and they're going to have Q's costume party.
It's gonna be like the ultimate sausage fest.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, if I go there, somebody getting it. Somebody.
They have restaurants like
I'm like, wait, I'm a man. I'll be like, not now, you aren't.
They're gonna have themed restaurants like the Klingon Cornucopia, which is like a meat-heavy restaurant. A lot of celebrity interactive events, nightly shows. By what I know, 80 cabins remain. I don't know if they're sold out now, but go to Star Trek cruise.com right now. Find out what's available. I believe the starting pay is $2,100.
What
for one of the cabins?
Oh, for one of the cabins?
Yeah, for one of the cabins, and I believe everything is all inclusive. I'm surprised Blue Note is sponsoring this. I'm truly surprised Blue Note is sponsoring this mess. And the Ultimate 80s Party. They're sponsoring this shit too. But it sounds like something. I'm not really a Star Trek fan, but this sounds like something that I really would like to get into. What do you guys think? Would that be something that y'all like to get into?
I like Star Trek, but not like on that level.
I'm not getting on the boat for that shit.
And I mean, like, I would not want to be on a cruise full of that.
I'll go just so I do a bunch of push-ups that day. Take like 4 Viagras and shit. Just walk around, in the tight Star Trek suit and everything like that.
Why y'all think there'll be no woman Trekkies on the
Somebody getting it. Somebody getting some teleporter sex. I'm telling you, somebody.
That whole boat getting a norovirus. Shit show.
I think I would love to go. I would like to go. It sounds like fun. You never know what might happen on these things.
I'd probably have sex with a tribble if I couldn't seem to find it.
You know what? I believe you too, Danae. I think you have sex with anybody.
For real, I'll do it. I'll just do it. I'm nasty. I'll do whatever. I don't care. It's whatever.
I feel bad for the tribble.
Yeah, right. As soon as I finish, I start crying. I'm like, I'm sorry.
We'd be like Stewie in that episode of Family Guy, be like, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Sorry.
Remember, guys, what happens on the cruise stays on the cruise.
Yeah, man. I'm not a big mouth anyway. I don't be.
Yeah, so StarTrekTheCruise.com. Check it out. It'll give you more details. And that's all I got to say about that.
I think that's all that needs to be said about that.
Yeah. Next up, we got an issue with where Amazon is deciding to do a Toys R Us style catalog because Toys R Us is quote unquote out of business in certain aspect. All they're doing is a business restructure. That's all they're doing.
Jesus.
How they got done though.
Yeah. So they're basically just doing like a like
The
pretty
whole wish list
Amazon till all are one is just trying to do a business do like what Toys R Us used to do with the toy catalogs right here. And it says Amazon fills in for Toys R Us is mailing out a printed toy catalog for the holidays. Now, you know, they know my weakness. They know I'll buy toys all the fucking time. I'll buy toys before I pay my rent. But I mean, you know, they need to stop it. And Amazon gonna come through with them deals. And it says right here why it matters. With Toys R Us no longer in the picture, Amazon is stepping in the holiday season with a printed toy catalog that'll be mailed out to millions. It's further proof that tactics of yesteryear are still viable in today's modern shopping climate. As a child of the 90s, one of the highlights of the holiday season was receiving the annual Toys R Us Big Book. Hell yeah, I used to love that shit. Hell yeah, I would instantly go to like towards the back to like towards the middle back to all the action figures were and the G.I. Joes and Transformers. Look at them.
For me, it was just straight to the back where the video games was at.
Yeah, it was like all the back of like the first couple of pages was baby toys and girls' toys, and when you got towards the middle and back towards the latter part of the book, that's when that's where the action was. And it says a toy catalog in the mail. I mean, how could you even begin to craft a proper holiday wish list without the invaluable tool? Toys R Us, as you may recall, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in September 2017 and closed all of its U.S.-based retail stores this past June. Rumors surfaced a month later that Amazon was preparing to fill the void this holiday season with a printed catalog of its own and right on schedule. Shipments of a holiday of play are going out to millions of customers. So yeah, they're basically just doing the tactics. They're like, how can I say? Just redoing the tactics that what was that Toys R Us used to do in terms of like putting a catalog out there, big book. And yeah, I'll be waiting for it. Sad to say, I will be waiting for it. My honor is my toys. That's it. Whoever's supplying me with toys that I want. And yeah, I still got I still got connections with Mattel and NECA and all of them, but it's nothing like just going to a toy store, man. I'm telling you, if you're a collector like me, nothing like going to
FAO is opening the store back up too, right?
Where at? In Midtown?
I'll give you the details. I gotta find out.
Because the old one used to be in Midtown, right? Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it used to be in Midtown. I used to stop
Fifth Avenue.
That's why, and the thing about it, FAO Schwartz sometimes would have like rare action figures that I was looking for. Like they would just be sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Because mainly most people, a lot of collectors would like overlook going into FAO Schwartz because they did have an action figure section. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I met Seth Green there. That's when Robot Chicken first started.
Yeah, like I remember when he was doing his oh shit, fuck, I dropped my fucking mic. I remember when they first were doing the Robot Chicken thing. He was popping up at like certain toy stores, and he did the big Toys R Us one in over there in the big Toys R Us, the big one that they have there.
On 42nd Street. Well, it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be on 42nd Street, right on the corner. He did that. He did a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still gonna go. If Amazon does it, I'm definitely gonna go through the book, check it out, stuff like that. But yeah. Next up, we have Netflix gets sued over satanic statue and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Woo!
Oh no,
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Yeah. Netflix got sued over by the if you don't believe me, I'll show you. There's an article right here.
A lot of people don't understand why they got sued. and they think the Satanic Temple is being a bunch of dicks, but
no, but I mean, like, nah,
like they don't understand that the Satanic Temple owns that representation of the Baphomet statue.
Right.
Like, it's a copyrighted thing that is literally owned by the Satanic Temple, and the one that is used in the series is very, very close to what is copyrighted by the Satanic Temple. And a lot of Christians and Catholics especially don't understand, like, well, how can they copyright Baphomet? And they don't understand how copyright law works. Because you can't copyright a real person, which is why Jesus isn't copyrighted, because Christians and Catholics believe Jesus to be a real person.
Right.
Baphomet is a fictional character and is known as a fictional character. That's not what the Church of the Satanic Temple worships. That is just a representation of their church, not who they worship. So they commissioned a breastless version of the Baphomet statue, because any depiction you see of Baphomet is with male features and female breasts. So they commissioned a totally male version of it. Judge ruled that it was enough to be considered an original work, and thus they own the copyright to it.
Okay, so, I mean,
that is the reason why the reason why Netflix and Warner is being sued.
Oh, okay. So right here on CNBC, we have an article, and that was great information, Dave. Thank you for the input. But definitely, we got an article right here, and it says the Satanic Temple sues Netflix for $150 million for using a statue of a demon god in the chilling adventures of Sabrina. The Satanic Temple is suing Netflix and Warner Brothers for $150 million, saying the companies infringed on its copyrights, violated its trademarks, and caused injury to its business reputation in this show, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. The Satanic Temple says in the lawsuit that is a copyright on the depiction of Baphomet used in the show. It says Netflix and Warner Brothers are feeling the wrath of Satanists. The Satanic Temple is suing Netflix and Warner Brothers for $150 million, saying the companies infringed on its copyrights, violated its trademarks, and caused injury to its business reputation. According to court documents filed on Thursday in the New York District Court, at the center of the controversy is Baphomet, described in the court documents as an androgynous goat-headed deity. A statue of the satanic god surrounded by children is featured in the Netflix series, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. However, the lawsuit claims that the show statue is similar to the Satanic Temple's real-life Baphomet monument, which was made famous by the Indiegogo campaign in 2014. Although it was intended to be installed next to the Ten Commandments at the Oklahoma State Capitol, it now resides in Detroit after multiple protests. The Baphomet statue has since become a central icon that has come to represent us Satanists as a people, explained the Satanic Temple co-founder Lucian Greaves.
That's just a satanic sounding name.
Lucian.
Why can't it be Mark or Bill?
Netflix show by a production department who did a Google image search. A lot of people who haven't heard of us first stand to just recognize that monument as the Sabrina monument, which dilutes and denigrates the entire project, he said. Because the statue is featured prominently in the show, the Satanic Temple claims its members are being associated with the evil antagonists depicted in the series. The characters of the show, who worship the Dark Lord or Satan, engage in cannibalism, necromancy, murder, and torture, among other nefarious activities. The Satanic Temple, on the other hand, does not promote evil and instead holds to the basic principle that undue suffering is bad. Undue suffering is bad, and that which reduces suffering is good. The organization claims it hails Satan as a rebel against God's authority rather than an evil being. And it goes on to further mention right here, I think I could just read it. Yeah, I can read the rest of it. It said the religious group reached out to Netflix and Warner Brothers to remove the depiction when it became aware of the statue in the series, but its request went unanswered. Yeah, because it's still on there, because I damn sure just watched the episode last night. It does really kind of normalize the notion that the only true meaning of this type of religion identification is that can be associated with a patriarchal cannibalistic cult, Greaves said. We're so inundated with this anti-Satan fiction that a lot of people think it's super
anti-Satan. That's funny.
Yeah, anti-Satan. A lot of people that it's superfluous to pursue to a claim like this at all. Netflix and Warner Brothers declined to comment, citing pending litigation. They said, we don't give a fuck here. We'll pay your shit, but we're not taking it out. That's essentially what they're saying. But yeah, man, they I mean, like, that shit was crazy when I first saw it. I said, really?
Yeah, I get where they're coming from because I do know a few actual Satanists.
Right.
Yeah, I know some too.
And they're not bad people. They don't.
No. I mean, I wouldn't depict them as bad people.
No, but when you look at the show,
it's like this. I mean, like even what, like, you know, they know what their deity or what their statues, whatever, what they stand for. And if somebody's putting them up there and depict them in a negative light or a negative fashion, then yeah, I mean, like, they have a right to speak up about it.
Yeah, and they have a right to sue because
yeah.
Like, and a lot, and again, it goes back to the reason why these people are suing and why Christians and Catholics cannot sue, because Christians and Catholics don't own the rights to various iconography like Jesus or crosses or anything like that, because again, you can't copyright what would be considered a real person. That's why followers of Islam can't copyright Allah, well, not Allah, Muhammad, because you can prove Muhammad actually existed. Like, there are documents and text out there that proves his existence. So you can't copyright a real person. It's like I can't go into a courthouse and say, hey, I want to copyright the name Dinesh Shogeki and give your features to the court. Can't do it because you are a real person and you actually exist.
Yeah.
So good for the Satanists for doing this. I hope they get their money.
I hear you. Any thoughts on that, Kenny? I know you got a mouthful to say about it.
Nah, I don't give a fuck with Satanists too. It's I don't care if you worship the devil.
Yeah.
Worship a fucking penny. Good for you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Apple Viper, what's going on? For Lim fans says FAO Schwartz is open near Rockefeller Center. They even have the keyboard.
Oh, from Big. Yes, they do.
Yeah. And Apple Viper said, I made it. Oh, hell yeah. Apple Vipers, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Thank you, Apple Viper. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you know, any thoughts on that, Mika?
With the Satanic Temple, is like their mission was always, like reject God's authority. They always thought that God's authority was like, tyranny. And they also encourage benevolence and empathy amongst all people. Same with their Satanic Bible. Yes, they do have a Bible, which basically has a New York state of mind. Basically, do you. That's all it says in the Bible. Just to do you. It doesn't say anything about evil. And I'm all for them doing this damn lawsuit. Like, I say go for it. Go for it.
Ain't that shit disappointing though when you find out about real Satanists? They're like they're not even fucking fun like they are in movies. Like they're not sacrificing people. They're not doing evil shit out there. That's boring as hell, man.
They're not about evil. They're not about any of that shit.
Be. I mean, if I was a Satanist, I'd like to be, eating babies and worshiping a star and shit like that. You draw a pentagram in the ground with blood. That's textbook shit. Real Satanism is boring. All you want to do is sue you when you use one of their dumb mascots.
Oh God, I guess.
Just like Mickey Mouse, Disney will sue you if you use Mickey Mouse or something. So Satanists will do the same thing with their mascot.
Any other words, gentlemen?
All right, so I mean, that's your thoughts on it. Me myself, I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. I thought it was worth mentioning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell, Satan, man, I get you.
Oh man! Next up, we're gonna do some movie and TV review.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Okay. First off, I want to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody. I went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh man, how was that?
Let me see. I went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody. How was it? Bohemian Rhapsody was excellent. I absolutely loved it.
I have to disagree.
I loved it. I loved it for the soundtrack. I loved it for the actor that portrayed Freddie Mercury. I love it for the fact that, I mean, like, they went into some things, but they didn't go into everything that went on with Freddie Mercury. Because as a child,
I heard that like they really didn't get deep into the relationship between Freddie and Mary Austin.
they did, but they didn't. I mean, you got to understand some of this stuff. They had to be careful. They had to be careful with certain things because it was more than one party involved. Even when it came down to the boyfriend, the girlfriend, all that stuff, because a lot of people, so they had to be very careful. But as far as like the music was absolutely fantastic. I went and saw it in Dolby Stereo. You know, Dolby Stereo, so you could really hear the music and everything like that. And I forgot the actor's name, but he did a fantastic job. I can't really name, but I can't really pronounce it correctly. Really, Remy Malik. That's it. He did an excellent job.
Like I will,
from beginning to end. But go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
I will agree with you that it was very well acted.
Right.
It was great because I love Queen.
Me too. Absolutely.
I don't agree with the story, how the story was told, because like being gay was a very, very critical aspect of who Freddie Mercury was as a person.
Absolutely.
And I felt like the way that it was portrayed in the movie, they kind of like, oh, he's bisexual. No, he wasn't. Everybody knew he was gay. Like the dude was gay as day is long.
Well, when it first started out, because I remember as a kid, Freddie Mercury was in a marriage. He was dating women and shit like that.
Like, yeah, but like the way it was told, like because I've read various interviews, like he was using women as quote unquote beards.
The beard, yeah.
Like so, like people knew that he was gay. Like
right.
In the 70s, it was not like the biggest secret in the world anymore. Like even in the 80s, it was not the biggest secret.
No, in the 80s, it was just known he was gay.
Right. And the way it was portrayed in the movie, the reason why I disagree with it is because they kind of like undertone demonized him being gay to the point where they didn't want to mention it outright. Like because like a lot of like social advocacy that he did was centered around him being gay.
Right.
A lot of the songs he wrote and performed were centered around him being a gay man, like a gay man in a predominantly straight world, in a straight music world. So I don't like how that was portrayed, but overall, like the acting, the music, that was great. Just the story that was told, I didn't like.
Well, you know what? I understood it because you got to look at. I don't think that they hid away the gay aspect of him being gay in the.
No, it's not like they hid it away. It's just that they didn't give it its proper due.
Yeah, now that I agree with. But as a whole, it gave you a summary. You had to pretty much fill in the lines. You have to understand this film told the story, but it stayed within its safe zone, and it had to. Believe me when I tell you, it had to stay within its safe zone.
I disagree with that because, like, at this point in time, like I could understand with the NWA movie, they had to stay in that safe zone,
right?
Because there were so many entities involved in that, and there were stories that people knew, but you couldn't tell,
right?
With this movie, because the main principal was out and everything that surrounded him was about him being a gay male, I don't think you needed to be safe with this movie.
Yeah, but at the same token, it was kind of like a thing like use basic common sense. And I know you probably wanted to see like the intricate relationships that he had, or like the graphic, I wouldn't say the gory details, but more so
like the butt fucking.
No, I don't. I'm not saying I wanted them to go into.
What kind of lube did he use?
No, Kenny.
I just wanted them to get
Mary Austin.
Do as a person.
Why I asked about Mary Austin is because like despite the fact of him coming out, they both remained. They both had a strong bond together.
Yeah,
they both had
look at it very great friendship. Queen did nothing. All he wanted to do was be loved, and he tried. Honestly, if you ask him, he tried to keep the band together. Like, and they constantly, if you ask me, the way I saw it is that they were more jealous of him, and he was the one that built the fucking band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Freddie Mercury, he wanted to be loved and accepted. That's
exactly. No, you got to watch it. You got to watch it, Mika. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
You got to watch it because to me, in a way, I felt as though they were trying to vilify him in certain aspects. But at the same token, he was loyal to all of his friends. He was loyal to all his friends, and they actually became jealous of him because he was going through stardom. Because there were certain points where, like, you saw, like, even certain producers, certain music companies were coming to him, like, "Yo, go solo. We'll tell him such and such son." He was like, "Nah, y'all gonna take my whole band, or y'all ain't doing nothing." Yet and still, the band not appreciating him. They get mad at him because he's doing certain shit, this, that, and the other. Yeah, he had a flamboyant gay lifestyle. That's what came with the shit. That's what that's what he was. But at the same token, he was making sure everybody ate. So when they finally did get to the point where he was like, "You know what? Fuck you, ungrateful motherfuckers, this, that, and the other. I'm doing it like this." You know what I'm saying? I'm going solo. I'm going this. I'm going that. And I don't want to try to spoil the movie for you, Mika, but you definitely got to check it out. I loved it. It was the music.
Like some of the shit that you're telling me now, I understand why Mary Austin is the only person who knows where Freddie Mercury is buried.
Not only that, but even she has some bullshit with her. Because I mean, like,
boom. Yeah, but still though, they were still friends. They remained friends for a long time.
She fucked him with a strap on for sure. That's like 100%.
Oh my God, Kenny.
She probably tooled him real good, like 100.
No, but you know what? After when she found out he was gay and stuff like that, she really didn't want to have shit to do with him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But he still loved her.
How did she find out? Did his dick start tasting like shit?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, that was too easy.
What do you mean? But yeah, as a whole, I would say Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion, maybe you, David, Aaron, didn't like it at all, but I enjoyed it. I think I was more enthralled by the music. And what format did you see it in, David?
I saw it in
digital? IMAX? Yeah, like that mute. You can't tell me that music wasn't hitting though.
It was great. I love Queen. I love the music. I loved how one thing I did appreciate about the story is how they went into the intricacies of how the music was created.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's why that overshadowed everything else. Because see, me myself, I grew up knowing, like, I knew Queen was gay. Like, everybody knew Queen was gay. Like, even as a kid, I knew he was gay. Like, it wasn't no big deal. Like, because I grew up in a family with gay individuals, junkies, drug addicts, all that shit, pimps, hustlers, all that shit. I grew up in a family like that. So I mean, it wasn't no big thing to me, or like I already knew what it was. So me myself, I went to see Bohemian Rhapsody basically, honestly, I guess to like hear the music again, even though I have all his albums, all his work and everything like that, digital and everything. I have the greatest of Queen, the greatest Freddie Mercury, all that stuff. I just wanted to see it. I had to see it. He's one of my favorites, always has been since I was a little child.
Nerd pins. Nerd pins.
Let me see. I would give Bohemian Rhapsody. What do I usually do? 5 out of what?
Yeah, 5.
1 out of I would give it a 4.5. A 4.5. Okay. A 4.5. But a definite go see. That's something I would watch again. Bohemian Rhapsody is something I would watch again.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that was good. Bohemian Rhapsody was absolutely amazing. What would you give it? What would you give it, David?
It's tough. Like, if you can get beyond that they didn't tell the story completely, I would give it like a 4.
Yeah, I agree.
If the story matters, if accuracy matters to you, I would give it a 2.5.
Wow.
But you know what? It's as accurate as it could be for a movie that long. Think about it, David Aaron. I mean, some things were just like basic common sense. You got to read between the lines. Like, yeah, this is what he did. Because like when they showed you when he was in the what was that? The gay club.
Yeah.
The gay club. You knew what he was doing in there. You already knew what he was doing because you see he was walking through there like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You knew what it was. I guess, but see, also too, David, you got to understand, you can tell with this film, they wanted everybody to go and be able to go and like consume this. And so,
it felt very family friendly.
Yeah, it felt safe. It felt safe. Like I was telling you, they played it safe with this film. Now, if it was something that was written by like what was that? The Hughes brothers or some shit like that, you know, that shit would have been wide open. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It feels like the main aim of this movie was to introduce Queen to a generation of people.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. People like us, we already know. Mika, you already know. I already know. You know David already. Kenny, he loves what he knows about Queen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me put on my assless chaps and I'll really get
it. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I definitely enjoyed it. I would suggest people to go see it. I would suggest go at least check it out.
Oh, yeah, I would suggest people go see it. Just
if anything for the music. If anything for the music. Yeah, you may have heard the music before, and if you are going to go see it, make it either has to be IMAX or Dolby Digital. I only went to see that one in Dolby Digital specifically just for the music. The picture quality.
I would say if you're a fan of Queen, this is something that you need to see.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, cool.
Moving right along. I went and saw this film that I've been waiting for because I'm a big fan of indie films, right? I went and saw this film called Overlord. Overlord.
Heard about it.
Yeah, it looks like Wolfenstein.
Overlord. Fucking loved it. Loved it from beginning to end. Did you see that one, David?
I did. It was weird. You know what was weird to me? Fucking Bokeem Woodbine in a movie in the year 2018. That was weird for me.
I know. The thing about it is, Bokeem Woodbine be popping up in the most obscure films you would not expect him to be in. You'd be like, this motherfucker. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were upset because like they was like, oh, there were no black paratroopers and shit like that. I said, it's a work of fucking fiction. Of course.
Yeah, they weren't going for accuracy with that.
No, it's a work of fucking fiction. You enjoy it for what it is. What I can say, if you give it a chance, it's well paced. Because just when I was about to say this movie sucks, the shit kicked up like that. It starts out grabbing your attention immediately. And if you haven't seen this, you saw it, right, David?
Yeah, I saw it.
Would you agree that the opening scenes were absolutely amazing? Like, you know, big explosions, the fucking death and murder, and
I thought the cinematography was very, very well done in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Like when you go into the movie, if you didn't watch any trailers, you would swear like from the beginning of the movie they were going for, oh, this is going to be like a World War II historical accurate movie and stuff like that.
So what was Overlord about?
Overlord was basically about the Germans doing like their mad scientist type of shit, creating super soldiers, creating super stars.
Like all the shit that you like, all the rumors that you heard about the Germans during World War II, that they were into the occult shit, the supernatural shit, doing crazy scientific experiment type shit.
Played off of it. It played off of it, but to me, it played off of it very, very well. I absolutely loved it. I loved it.
This movie is like, what if all that shit was true and some of our people stumbled upon it?
Yeah. And you have to look at this as a sci-fi action horror. That's what I call it. I call it a sci-fi action horror. That's what it was. Don't look for it to be accurate. Don't look for it it's a fun, violent movie. Even the gunslinging, even of like the firefights that happened between the soldiers and shit like that was absolutely amazing. It was gory. It was brutal. It was equivalent. You know what, Kenny? It was equivalent. Kenny, did you see Overlord?
No, I do want to just watch it though. Probably
not. When they come out on bootleg or DVD, grab that shit up. It's good. I'm telling you. The firefights were equivalent to like Rambo style type firefights, like motherfuckers torn apart, like literally, like because when they shot, well, I'm not gonna kill it for you, but yeah, when they shot up my man, they showed him chunk up, turned into chunks and shit like that.
It was like Alex Murphy getting blown up in RoboCop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the type of violence that's in there. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every character in there. I mean, even though like some of these actors weren't very well known, they did their role. They played their roles very well. And the film essentially comes off as towards the end, it's kind of like super zombie versus super zombie. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. I loved it from beginning to end. Would I recommend this film? Absolutely yes. Special effects were great. The acting was pretty decent. you know, for what it was. I mean, like the fight scenes were good. The as he said, the cinematography was fantastic. Um, Sound effects were great on this film. I mean, I would definitely go see it if you're a sci-fi fan. If you love sci-fi action horror thrillers, if you know, if you're into that stuff. Would I say like this is like World War II accurate? No, no, not at all. But it's fun. It's fun. If you're looking for a good like shoot 'em up monsters and violence and action and fighting and shit like that, you'll love it. You'll definitely love it. So I mean, like Overlord, I would give that. I don't know. I would say I would give it 5 nerd pins. I give it 5 nerd pins because of the way that it was. It's not a World War II film. Like it's not supposed to be true to life or like, you know, portraying any type of document, you know, how can I say, documentary type film. It's just a good action sci-fi film set in the tone of like World War II. But I mean, like, it's definitely, I didn't feel like I wasted my money. Well, I didn't, because I got that A-list shit, and I be just going and just beating up movies all day. I beat that shit up, bro.
David, how would you rate it?
I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a fun movie. It's like one of those movies that you don't have to like think too hard when you go see. You just turn your brain off and enjoy it for what it is. And what it is a very, very great and well put together sci-fi action flick.
Yep, I agree. And there's some points in there you'd be like, oh wow, that was messed up. Like it was one dude in there, he just couldn't get a fucking break, man.
Yeah, man, like
he just couldn't
I felt like
motherfucker, how you get no, I ain't gonna kill it, but yeah, like this motherfucker couldn't get a break.
This was me for like most of the movie, like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. It was some shit like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
I was like, oh, they did it like that.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? And you know what I like too? It had that classic, like, it had that classic, like, testosterone filled, like, machoism in it when it came to like the soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially towards the one guy that stabbed himself with the needle. You know what I'm saying? He was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it was good. It was good. Like, go check out Overlord if it's still in the movie theater playing. I enjoyed it. It.
I'll give that a look see too.
Yeah, check out Overlord. Next up, we're gonna talk about one of Kenny's favorite that you definitely had me watch was the new Netflix Shira.
Oh, I hope you loved it because I sure did.
Yeah, now it's time for business.
Yeah, Netflix. Like, how did you check that out, David Aaron? Any of you guys check that shit out? Or was I the only one that watched
I saw, you know, I forced myself to watch some simply because you did.
I refuse to watch that shit.
Just for the sake of having something to talk about, I did sit through, I think, 3 or 4 lousy ass episodes of it, if that's any indication.
Oh. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know. Like I felt like it's some type of revenge for me because he made me watch Iron Fist and he was like, I didn't watch it. I'm like, what? Like son of a biscuit eater.
You know, I will say this though, as you watch it, notice when she transforms, her jawline gets super strong, for real.
Yeah.
Strong jawline.
That she gets a lantern jawline towards.
Yeah, man.
By episode 13, that shit is like robotic. She got Megatron's jawline. No, you know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
But you know what? We got some comments over here, and it says, Apple Viper says, hey, what's up? Made it hard. Yeah, what's up? Hello, everyone. Apple Vipers also said, in the movies, they're over-exaggerated satanic worshipers, and he also said, the Love the Shades TNT looking fresh. Apple Fresh, thank you, Apple Vipers. Apple Vipers also said, David has a cool shirt. He likes your shirt, David Aaron. Awesome. For Lynn and says, he left his entire estate to many. Exactly. Freddie Mercury did. For Lynn fans also says, I'm sure the writers and production had to go through her. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was basically what you were saying and I were both saying, David Aaron, like they had to play this safe. I understand what you're saying in terms of like them really not going in depth to like Freddie Mercury's like sexual ventures and his preferences and everything that he was doing, but they had to be safe with this shit for many different reasons. Especially for them to make it palatable for like a mass audience. They had to do that. So, you know. Forlin fans says, I'm sure. Okay, no, Apple Viper said, hey, TNT, I'm gonna head out. I have school tomorrow, so I have a good one. Okay, brother, take care. He's also said, ooh, I also bought a Nintendo Switch, but peace. All right, good night, Apple Vipers. Donnie Hernandez says from Argentina. How you doing, Donnie Hernandez? Thanks, glad to have you through. Thanks for having you come through, bro. Hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe. But yeah, man, it was I don't know. I enjoyed Overlord. Overlord was very good. But as far as Netflix Shira,
you liked it, right?
Kenny, you give your thoughts first. Give your thoughts first.
He loved it, Kenny. He loved it.
Did you watch it, Mika?
Hell no.
Oh my god,
Aaron, you watched it, right?
I wanted to stab myself in the throat.
Yo, why did the animation look like a Flash video? That was like really.
I felt like after coming off of Voltron, you thought like, okay, they're bringing back She-Ra. Okay, I like He-Man. I like She-Ra when I was a kid. They're bringing it back. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, who fucking greenlit this? Like, who at Netflix thought that this was gonna be the shit? Like, not shit, the shit. Like, I want to know what they were thinking when they saw this animation. I was like, okay, this is good stuff right here. We're going to put it on here, and we're not going to get no kind of backlash.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing. As far as the animation, that's the shit they're going to be going with. You know, Cartoon Network and all these motherfuckers do this shit like every 5 or 6 years. They stick with a standard base of animation. Like you had one at one point.
That's not the animation you use for She-Ra. I can understand if this was some magical girl anime.
Absolutely right.
This was supposed to be like the spinoff of He-Man. And I'm like,
they should. Go ahead, continue, brother. Continue.
I'm like, come on, man. It's like, is this what we're really doing here? Like, you just determined to ruin the legacy of one of the greatest 80s cartoons ever.
Yes, that's their goal. Yes. That's their goal.
They just determined to ruin my childhood, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Kenny, what did you think?
Well, I was never a She-Ra fan as a kid. I liked Hordak and the Troopers for the most part. They had masks but they fucked that up too, man. The troopers, it's such bad animation. You'll see groups of 3 of them. You'll see like a lizard guy trooper and 2 regular guys, and then like 3 more will come, and then they'll reuse the same 3 over and over. It's just cheap looking. It's ugly to look at. No shading, nothing.
Yeah, it's like some old. It's like early Hanna-Barbera, just with a little bit of animation and shit. It's just horrible.
It looked like they dragged the intern out of Hanna-Barbera out of the closet from like 1978 and shit. Like, they created a time machine like, yo, grab the first motherfucker from Hanna-Barbera that you can and bring him back. There's like, what do you do? What do you do? I'm the intern. Come with us.
Pretty much. And why did it look like everybody had on like high top Nikes?
Yes.
Why did
everybody had on them back
or anything like that? Everybody had on high top Nikes. And I mean, I guess everybody had to make sure they catered to everybody. So Glimmer, because from what I remember of She-Ra, and no, I'm not looking for like no sexy bodies or anything like that. I barely watch She-Ra, and the only reason why, as with Kenny, why I used to watch She-Ra was for the horde, honestly. I used to love to see Montana. They made Grizzlord just seem like some punk and junk like that. Like Grizzlord.
I watched She-Ra because it was on right after Superman.
Exactly.
It was on right after He-Man. So I was like, okay, I'm not changing the channel, so let's see what's up.
Exactly.
It was on right after. So that's how I came to like the cartoon. And they just fucked it up, man. It's like, oh my fucking God.
Honestly, I think what really did it because I watched it all the way through. The storyline wasn't too bad. The
story was fine. It was just the voice acting and the animation.
Absolutely horrible. And I couldn't get past that animation. I could not get past that artwork and animation. It was just horrible. First off, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe in creating characters just for the changing existing characters just for the sake of diversity. I don't like that. Just create more characters. And within the She-Ra universe, there were black characters. Believe me, there were like 3 of them. So they didn't have to make Bo the black guy with a fade and a flat top You know what I'm saying? They gave him a fuck
They
boy.
did that? Oh God.
Yeah,
the
they
hardness,
made
yes.
Bo the gold because essentially we all knew when you watch She-Ra, Bo was a gay character. You know what I'm saying? We all knew this. Growing up, everybody knew Bo was a gay character. All right. And yes, Bo's always been a gay, big gay character on She-Ra. It was just like you knew it, like you just knew it. Even and before he died, Lou Scheimer confirmed it. Like, yeah, Bo was the gay character. So I mean, like, you know, but they, you know, for diversity and appropriation, they made the black guy the gay guy and stuff like that. They made him Bo. Then Glimmer is now this little short chunky girl, like she's real hippie and thick at the bottom and stuff like that. Then they took She-Ra and they just made her like straight up and down man boy girl. You know what I'm saying?
Her shoulders get real broad too.
Yeah,
like, damn.
With each episode, you'll notice they started spreading out her shoulders more and more. That jawline got more and more defined. To when she turned into She-Ra, like it was just like, ugh. Then like I just didn't like like even the transformation of She-Ra was horrible. The theme song of the new She-Ra cartoon, horrible. Like me myself, I enjoyed the main thing I enjoyed about She-Ra was the disco beat. It was like ding, 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 and like, you know what I'm saying? It was a disco beat and somebody was tearing that bass up, man. You know what I'm saying? But in this one, it was just horrible, man. You gotta watch this shit. And there was so many nods that, like, again, it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be in terms of like people putting like their social politics into it. It really wasn't like that. It was a basic story. But the animation and the animation and the artwork and the character designs, I hated them. Hated it. That's
a prime example of how bad animation can ruin an otherwise good story.
Because when you think about it, the original She-Ra cartoon was kind of soft and bubbly like this a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it had the same animation style as He-Man.
Right. But it was a bit more darker than this one. Because if you remember in the first couple of episodes of She-Ra, people were like being enslaved. It was bad. It wasn't like the Horde was like this group to be feared. They weren't like, even when they were with each other, they would fight amongst each other. It was just like a bad place. You know what I mean? Right. When it made it seem like there was a bit of structure, like because like punishment by Hordak, just you didn't want it to happen, or like by Shadow Weaver, you didn't want it to happen. Like it was all like bad shit that was going to happen to you. You know what I mean? Right. This one, it was more like, you know, they toned it down, they made it a little bit softer and shit like that.
Oh, that sucks.
And at one point, I was about to get upset because I thought they were going to try to delve into the He-Man universe with this soft animation shit. And I was like, you fuck with He-Man, we're going to have a serious fuking problem. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do to She-Ra. But if you fuck with He-Man, we got a problem.
You know that's next, right?
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't want to hear.
You better do it on the Voltron animation shit.
Yeah, now, I'm going to be honest with you. I understand some things get rebooted. But like, if you're going to reboot shit, do it like you did Voltron. Voltron was absolutely amazing. I love the new Voltron. And I'm not a big fan of what's that 3D CGI anime style or artwork or drawing or whatever the case may be, which is kind of like the cell shading that they may use at times. But Voltron did it very well. The new DreamWorks Voltron did the series very well. And I even tolerated the fact that they turned Pidge into a girl on the new Voltron, because
I wasn't mad at that because they kept it like they kept the character trait as like the same as the 80s, and like they revealed it that like, oh, this is the twin sister because her brother got back.
Exactly.
I was totally fine with that.
And what I like is that they didn't try to disavow anything in the Voltron universe we grew up with. In fact, they kind of like paid homage to a lot of it.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, if you I went and read one of the articles because I was so enthralled and so happy that they kept to like kind of like the core elements of the Voltron, but did their own style in terms.
I like that they kept elements from Go Lion in there, and that were actual flesh and blood.
Exactly, because you remember in the Go Lion series, like a lot of that was like spirit based. You know what I'm saying, or like spiritually based and stuff like that. That actually the robot would separate itself. When it became that Voltron would separate itself into these lions when it became in danger or it was in the realm of being destroyed. because in the Go Line series, that's essentially what he did. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was good. You go like if you guys have never watched the DreamWorks version of Voltron, I didn't want to veer off from the She-Ra subject, but like it's no way you can mention modern day reboots without mentioning the new Voltron series, a la She-Ra. The She-Ra one, I'm sorry. I mean, and I'm not even a big fan of She-Ra. I only like She-Ra because of Hordak. Honestly, that's the only reason why I used to watch it, because the Horde was in there and stuff like that, and the Horde soldiers with the big bulky suits and the wands and stuff like that. But this right here was horrible. The artwork, and to me, it seemed like it got worse and worse, or the budget got shittier and shittier as the series went on.
I don't think they kept the same animation studio the whole thing.
They didn't. Absolutely. So it's not just me, because it seemed as though as it went along, it got shittier. Would you agree, David?
I would, because like you can tell, like I don't know how you can not keep the same animation studio for 13 episodes,
right? But
they managed to do it.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch Dragon Ball Z, you can see that due to the
budget and which ones didn't.
Right. You could tell which was the cheap animation studio and which was the higher quality animation studio simply by watching it. And it's like, and She-Ra, as you watch the series, it just progressively went down.
Declined, right?
Like to where like they weren't even at one point, they were just using straight lines and shit like that. And like the animation was just like nil and null. You saw a lot of people just standing still. They did a lot of standing still. They didn't show that much mobility within the characters. It actually looked like some at one point it started looking like Dexter's Laboratory. No,
like you had a lot of characters giving monologues for no reason, just as animation.
It got bad. It got real bad. It got real bad. So I mean, like, I would suggest, I mean, I don't know. If you're a fan of She-Ra, give it a chance. But I mean, like, there are other more wonderful series to watch on Netflix, you know, like anime-based or, you know, TV-based. If you're going to watch something based like off of a reboot, watch the new Voltron series on Netflix. It's absolutely
Or watch the new Godzilla series. Those are dope.
That shit is garbage, David.
That's boring.
No.
Garbage.
Dude, I like those. They're pretty good.
You talking about the new anime-based ones on Netflix?
Yeah, I thought they're pretty good.
No, sir. No.
I like the concept of them. I like the concept. I thought it was going to be garbage, but
it's like watching paint peel. The shit is boring as fuck. And Godzilla is just like they're fighting Godzilla. It's like they're fighting the Statue of Liberty. You know, it's like they're just flying around them doing shit. Like it's just boring. I mean, it's not I don't know. It's not my Godzilla. They can have that shit. They can have that shit. They can have that shit. And I mean, like, I was excited to watch it. You remember I was putting up advertisements like, yo, this is about to go. I watched that shit. I said, never again. And I watched season 2. I was like, oh my God, y'all did it to me again. You fucked me. Like, y'all did it to me again. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. Nah. This is not white boy day. You're not doing this to me. But yeah, man. I mean, that She-Ra, Mika, you ain't miss shit. I ate one for the team. I watched all 13 episodes.
And I'm glad that you did. Thank you very much.
I think, honestly, I would have traded Iron Fist for She-Ra. No bullshit.
Are you sure?
I'm
I saw Iron Fist. I'm not even sure about that.
Bro, I'm telling you, you know what? This is what you do, Kenny. Just go to episode 8 and you will see the animation just literally started looking like cutout pictures or like color forms or some shit like that. I'm telling you.
It just started looking like a rush job.
Yeah, wasn't it, David? Would you agree?
It looked like they took the person who was in their first year of Flash animation in college and just like, okay, you're doing this by yourself. Good luck.
Flash animation, I'm
for
dead.
sure. It looked like some off Newgrounds, just really flat color, just terrible.
Yeah, like
no detail whatsoever.
So you saw some shading, you saw a little bit of like, you know, shadowing and stuff like that. But then as it went along, I was like, what the fuck? But you know what? They're doing the same thing that Cartoon Network does every like 5 or 6 years. They find a style of animation and they'll stick with it for like the next 5 or 6 years and they'll change up. Because like during the time that Gendy, what was his name? Gendy Tartakovsky, whose work I absolutely love. But at the same token, for a while there, Cartoon Network and Disney XD were beating the hell out of that type of style of drawing, artwork, and animation. To where like now you got like the Steven Universe type of animation, and they're gonna run with that for a while. Because now they're gonna do they're thinking about doing that with Thundercats as well. I don't know, but because of the backlash that they received, you haven't been hearing anything about them doing Thundercats Ho anymore.
No.
I wish they would bring back the fucking Cartoon Network Thundercats, because that was dope.
Oh, of course. It was done by Toei Animation, so of course it was done. It was fantastic. Toei Animation did most of the shit during the 80s and shit like that. That's why our cartoons look so fantastic. Heavily detailed and everything. And yeah, sometimes they would blow most of the budget on like the on the intros, which is what they did with most cartoons and shit during the 80s and shit like that. But there were some that pretty much ran the whole budget out until the shit just died. You know what I mean? Like you had like Bionic 6. If you go and watch Bionic 6, Bionic 6 has
that intro was dope.
That was top quality animation, and it stood all the way from beginning till end. That's why it was so short-lived. They only had one season. You take Visionary. Was top quality animation. They didn't cut no corners on none of their episodes. That's why it was so short-lived. Not only that, that was when Marvel and Marvel Sunbow were separating.
Yep, I loved Bionic 6 too.
Yeah, Bionic 6 was absolutely amazing.
Silverhawks.
Silverhawk. But Silverhawk did cut corners, but at the same token, they still kept the butt. They drug it out as long as they could. Then you had another one. I'm mentioning the ones that stuck to the that pretty much blew out the whole budget, and you could tell. Another one, Starcom. Yeah, Starcom was another one that blew their whole budget. They just didn't give a fuck. You can tell the ones that had top quality animation, top quality artwork, didn't cut on anything like that, that blew their animation. Galaxy Rangers, another one. They're another one that blew the budget. That blew through their budget because like it was top quality animation. They didn't cut corners. Another one that I'll hit you guys with that was done very well. And of course, they got knocked off for various reasons. One, they became too violent. Two, they blew through their budget, which was Inhumanoids. And Inhumanoids was done very, very, very well. If you watch it till today, they did fantastic shading, shadowing. It was a very gross and like obscure cartoon. And after a while, I think, well, they stated on this because I went and looked it up on the website that the reason why they had to cut it because like it was getting too violent and too graphic, especially towards the last season when they were just like, fuck it. I guess they knew they were going to get canceled due to like all the FCC regulations. And that's when they brought in this monster called Gag Oil or Gagular. And he woke up. No, literally, this monster woke up, right? Because that Inhumanoids was basically based off of like these Middle Earth explorers that would go down the center of the Earth and they would fight these hellish ass fucking beings that were like bent on destroying all human, like bent on destroying and taking over the world and human race. So there was this one monster called Decompose, there's one monster called Tendril, and this other monster called Metlar. Metlar was essentially Satan, right? And you had Decompose, which represented death and shit like that. He would literally pick people up, stick his finger in their face, and they would just turn into like these ghoulish ass zombie decaying creatures. And he would just throw them on the ground and let them fuck up other people and kill them and shit like that.
Wow.
And then, yeah, literally. And this cartoon got wild. With each episode, it got more and more wild. I'm telling you. To where as though when the channels finally caught on to it, they canceled that shit quickly. Because the one that I remember distinctly as a kid, because I recorded it on VHS as a kid. Because some of my friends would like, because it started coming on Sundays and they quickly shot it to early in the morning. And you know, when they shoot shit to early in the morning, that's when they don't really want you to see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They want to try to like, you know, outsource it and shit. And the last episode I remember is where they woke up this monster, Blackthorn Shore, woke up this monster called Gag Oil with this other fucking demonic ass motherfucker that had like a skull for a head and this fucking long ass arm that was like a skeleton, like tendril type arm and shit like that, who had been put back together because he had got dumped in the toxic waste. They woke up this shit called Gag Oil, right? Now, how they woke it up was they found it in this cave and you saw like these eggs there. They woke it up, one hatched out, then another one hatched out. He woke up, ate his brothers and sisters, and then ate the arm off of this other motherfucker. Yeah, and they showed blood and everything. And after that, that's when you stop seeing this shown on TV. It was like, nah, this shit out of control. Look it up. It's called Gagoyle. His name was Gagoyle.
Wait, did you show this cartoon at the watch party?
No, I'll show it. I'll show this shit. I got a whole series. I'll show you Gagoyle. And literally, he was a mouth with one eye, and he had a stomach where he was like whatever he ate, you would see it digesting in his stomach.
Wow! Yeah. Show this cartoon at the watch party, please.
Yeah, I'll show it. As a matter of fact, I'll show that shit tomorrow. I'll do a watch party and do like some humanoid shit.
Yeah, do that. That sounds good.
He was called Gagoyle. And he bit off, decomposed his arm, and you saw all his nasty shit come out. He swallowed it, and then he said, decompose, digest it. And then decompose. No, he said, Gagoyle, digest it. And decompose was like, no, give me my arm. And then he threw it back up, and it was all this shit on it.
I'm cracking up because this fucker's name is Gagoyle.
Yeah, it was called Gagoyle. He had one eye. He was like a big retarded like monster that would just eat shit. Nice. He ate everything. He ate a redland, and you know the redlands were like these wood-like creatures and shit like that. He ate a redland, and of course he ate people along the way. You know what I'm saying? As if you watch the original uncut version of Inhumanoids, when you see the humanoids come up out of the earth, you see them at a farm, and you see Metlar grab two people. He had one woman in his hand and a man in the other one. They jump back down in the earth, and you see Decompose grab a cow to go eat it. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It was a fucked up cartoon, man. I'm telling you. The 80s was a great time, man. The 80s,
yes, it was.
It was a great time.
Very violent and gory 80s.
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine is in the stream. What's going on, Miss Avelle?
Hi, Lorraine.
Yeah, but the 80s was a great time. But, didn't mean to get sidetracked like that. But, yeah, I love talking about cartoons and sci-fi and anime and shit like that. Next up, we're going to talk about, let me see. Did anybody see that Pokemon trailer review? That Pokemon trailer?
Oh, I choose.
You know the Pokemon movie?
Yeah, Detective.
Wait.
Pokemon.
Detective Pikachu?
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I did. I want to see that movie. Yes.
Be honest with you, I want to see it. I'm gonna go see it.
I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to see it just because Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu.
Yeah, I never pictured Pikachu to have a voice like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I want to see
all over again. It's just Deadpool all over again.
Yeah, right.
All I see it as. Only in Pikachu form.
Yeah, right.
You know who would have been better than Ryan Reynolds as that voice? Fucking Danny DeVito, man.
Right. Absolutely. You nailed it right on the head, David. I would agree. Danny DeVito would be a perfect Pikachu. Perfect Pikachu.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, so I mean, they got a trailer out for that. I wish I could show it, but again, YouTube will not allow me to show trailers anymore, along with other channels. But some channels get to show whatever the fuck they want to, but you know how it go. You already know the nature of the beast. It is what it is. Yeah, like any trailer, every time I put up a trailer or something like that, it's like, and I get tagged. So
yeah, YouTube gets pissy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's not just me. They're tagging they're getting Philly DeFranco. They're getting a bunch of people. They're tagging everybody that shows videos and stuff like that.
That's sad. Yeah. That is super sad.
But yeah, when it comes out, it's slated for I think it's 2019, summer of 2019. They're coming out with the Pikachu movie, and they also Toy Story 4, and I'm definitely going to see that too. I'm
curious as to what they're gonna do because the main character, like the main dude, went off to college and shit.
Right.
I was like, okay, what are you gonna do now?
But didn't he give his toys to his little brother or little sister or something shit like that?
I think it was a neighbor or some shit like that.
Yeah, something.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, what do you guys think about Toy Story 4?
I'd have to see.
Oh no, I think I'm gonna pass on that because I kind of
for real.
Like unlike The Incredibles 2, where everybody is waiting for that movie.
Right.
Nobody's waiting for Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4, yeah.
Nobody's looking for Toy Story 4. Like,
I think it blew its load already, but I'm gonna still go check it out. I think it's gotten a little bit long in the tooth, and it's about time to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyways, moving on.
So I mean, like Kenny, don't get your hopes up too high. I know you want to see Toy Story 4, but
Oh, you know I'm so excited for that.
yeah,
I can't wait for it.
yeah.
Oh,
Next, we're gonna talk
My
about
number one pick.
Kenny got on his Woody outfit.
Oh, I got my little hat and my vest and all that. My little
Yeah,
there's a
you
snake in
You
my
got the little Petey Pew Pew gun
of
pistol.
course. Little lasso rope and all that shit.
You know, next up we're gonna talk about what was that? They renewed another season for Castlevania.
Yeah, if you have seen season 2 of Castlevania, that shit was straight fire. That shit was
Loved it.
dope.
Thank you. I love
enjoyed it.
Castlevania.
I enjoyed it.
I
enjoyed
loved it. Did you watch season 1 and 2, or you just watched season 1, Mika?
I had to watch the whole thing from the beginning just so I could understand.
I love the way they did, and it leads into the games too. If you're a fan of the games, you will understand why everything is happening the way it's happening. If you ask me, the anime went more into depth of the storyline of Castlevania in certain aspects.
Like,
Even though there were a lot of things that were already known by Castlevania fans, as myself, but it went into like more of like the storyline with it. Would you agree, David?
I agree. Like I think where they're going with it is going to be great.
I already know what the next season is going to be.
Like season 3 is going to be about Isaac and the other dude.
I think it's going to be about when Alucard goes bad, because you know essentially Alucard goes bad, right?
No, I don't think they're going to do that story arc just yet. I think they're going to like finish up where Hector and Isaac, because that seems like the next logical. Because that continues that story arc. That,
right.
Like,
right.
Because in Castlevania season 2, they're like they just did the Castlevania 3 story arc.
Right. Absolutely.
So they like that's still like the middle of the story arc. The end of that is I don't know if you played the PlayStation 2 Xbox.
Of course.
No, the PlayStation 2 and Xbox Castlevania, where the main character is Hector. That's where they're going with the story arc, because you see it in the last episode where Isaac is like gathering his army and Hector is captured by the vampire Carmela.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna do that story arc before they move on to the whole Symphony of the Night story arc, I believe.
Right. I agree. But like honestly, with you seeing Alucard getting depressed in the castle, you're like, you know, in Dracula Castle and shit like that.
Yeah.
That, no, it's leading into it and into Alucard's story. So more than likely, like you said, David Aaron, it's more than likely it's going to be a thing where they don't include. I'm thinking like they're not going to include Alucard into the next season, and then
I don't think so either.
Yeah, and then do like the Hector and what's the name series story.
Hector and Isaac.
Yeah, Hector and Isaac story, and then essentially they'll lead up to Alucard.
Because Trevor is involved in the Hector and Isaac story as well. So
yes, you're absolutely right. Yep. So yeah, anybody that hasn't seen Castlevania, please give it a watch. It is a absolutely amazing anime. And actually, that is one anime to me. I feel as though the animation started getting better as the series went along. You can tell in the first season that they were a little bit nervous about devoting a heavy budget to it. But in the second season, it looks like they pretty much like put a decent budget into like Castlevania.
Based off of the success of Castlevania,
yeah,
they greenlit a Devil May Cry series.
Yes, they did. I heard about that.
Yeah, but do you remember the Devil May Cry series that was out like around about like 7?
Well, that was just a standalone anime.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a 45-minute thing.
Yeah,
but they're talking about a 12-episode anime.
Oh my god, I would love it. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. I would absolutely love that. They're also talking about Netflix is also talking about doing a live Cowboy Bebop series.
Something should be live action.
No,
everybody like zero action.
Cowboy Bebop is like one of my favorite animes. I don't know about that.
If
but
there's anything
what the live action version of Cowboy Bebop is, it's fucking Firefly.
Yeah, essentially. So right here we have a article on Epic Stream right here on epicstream.com. It says Netflix live action Cowboy Bebop aiming production start in April. Anime has been around for a while, but only some managed to remake their mark in pop culture. One particular title is Cowboy Bebop. There have been rumblings for years about a live-action adaptation. As it turns out, a series is in the works, and it looks like production is set to start soon. Discussing film, the Cowboy Bebop live-action series is aiming to start production sometime in April 2019, with Netflix set to distribute the show. Seeing that Netflix has earned quite the rep when it comes to terrible anime, oh my god,
that is horrible.
Adaptations a la Death Note, a lot of fans are already showing off their disdain for this live-action adaptation of the adventures of Spike Spiegel. Nevertheless, the concept of a live-action Cowboy Bebop has been going around for years, and at some point was going to be a film with Keanu Reeves in the lead. We don't know if this show will ever live up to the reputation of the original, but you can't blame Netflix for trying. If anything, the production value of Altered Carbon can be a testament to what a Cowboy Bebop series could look like. Let's hope we get some solid updates before the camera starts rolling next year. And to speak of Altered Carbon, that's another series. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out. It is very.
It is coming.
Okay.
Altered Carbon was very good. I absolutely loved Altered Carbon.
Yeah, I think isn't Aaron Mackey supposed to be in season 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Altered Carbon was very good. So yeah, you got Netflix up there doing another Cowboy Bebop. What's the name? What was the topic we just covered that we ventured off on from to onto what's that? Netflix Cowboy Bebop. What was we just talking about?
Just shit that's coming on.
Man. Oh no, we were talking about Castlevania.
Yeah,
Castlevania. Definitely check out. All right, three shows to check out. Castlevania, definitely check out. Check out Altered Carbon, and check out what's the name? What's the name of that shit? Oh god.
Not She-Ra.
Nah, fuck She-Ra. She-Ra get the gas face. She-Ra get the gas face. She-Ra's garbage. Oh, you know what? Check out Daredevil season 3.
Yes, definitely check out that.
Yeah, Daredevil season 3. I actually enjoyed that. I watched that too. Like I said, honestly, it's been a good 3 weeks of films and TV shows. There hasn't been too many bombs, so I was pretty much happy. Yeah, She-Ra. I mean, like, I didn't mind like She-Ra being a bomb because like I saw some films that I actually enjoyed and some TV series and some series that I actually enjoyed.
I do have a recommendation because the DC streaming service is giving like a 7-day trial for free. So,
Titans, right? Titans, right?
Yeah, check out Titans because you're not going to waste any money checking it out because they're about like 5 episodes out right now.
Right.
So definitely check that out. I can understand why some people don't like it, but I happen to like it. So it's pretty solid.
I actually enjoyed it. You know, like when I first advertised it, I was pissed off at the depiction that they had of Starfire. But once you watch it, it's actually a good story, and it's violent as fuck. It's violent as fuck.
Well, if you remember the original Titans comic,
violent, yes.
It was pretty violent.
Yes, it was violent. It was violent. Very violent. And it was very sexual too. One of the most iconic scenes I remember reading in a Teen Titans comic book was when Nightwing was laying in the bed with Starfire butt naked. I never forget that. I never forgot that. I read that comic when I was a child, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
You got to say it like Bernie Mac, bucket naked.
Yeah, they were laying in bed butt naked. And I mean, like this was like DC's Teen Titans. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "So they really like yeah." But DC has always been dark, and that's what that's why I've always loved DC, because DC tells some fucked up stories. And again, you know, I always harken back to what was that one book that I showed you guys, where they come to find out that Dr. Light was a rapist and he had raped a bunch of different heroes and supervillains.
No, he raped I forget whose wife it was.
Elongated Man's wife. He
raped Sue Dibney.
He didn't just rape her. This motherfucker was going around. He had raped a couple of heroes and villains, both men and women.
Wow.
Identity Crisis or something like that. I have the book. I have the hardcover.
Yeah, that's when they mind wipe Batman.
Mind wipe. The Justice League would mind wipe certain heroes and motherfuckers because Dr. Light had raped them.
And Batman walked in on him one day. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing?"
Yeah. And the elongated man was the one who blew the whistle. Like, look, y'all, like, it's fucked up. Y'all letting this motherfucker get away with this shit. Like, he like, put it like this. It was so bad, you had certain criminals that wouldn't work with Dr. Light. They were like, nah, this nigga on some dick in the butt shit. He'll rape you. Like, you gotta be careful. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, you fall asleep, you might wake up with a dick in your ass.
Dr. Light was messed up. He was messed up. He had who did he had gotten a hold of? I think he had gotten a hold of Hawk Girl, somebody. He had got a hold of a couple, like he got both men and women. He ain't care. I'm telling you, Dr. White on some bedroom body shit. He don't care.
Dr. Light got issues.
He wild as fuck, bro. That motherfucker wild. He a wild boy. So I mean, like Daredevil season 3, we saw, you know, like that one right there. I'm gonna summarize for you guys. It's definitely a good watch. I mean, it pays homage to Frank Miller's writing for Daredevil. The ending was a little bit like, how can I say, like, you know, it was a little bit, you know, predictable, but the storyline from beginning of season 3 all the way down was absolutely amazing. I felt like I was reading Frank Miller all over again. But it was gritty. It was gritty. It was dirty. Would you agree? Did you watch it, Kenny? Did you watch season 3 of Daredevil?
No, not yet.
It's good. It's very gritty. It's very gritty. It's very dirty. It's like you know, balls to the wall type of fucking.
Keeping in line with what Daredevil has been on Netflix.
Right. But you didn't see like a couple of nods to Frank Miller's work when he did Daredevil in that?
Of course.
Yeah, like the violence
and good damn them for making me like the fucking Kingpin.
Yeah. You don't like Vincent D'Onofrio as a Kingpin?
No, I mean, like, Vincent D'Onofrio is such a charismatic Kingpin. They make you fucking like the Kingpin.
Exactly. And I love how he transitioned from like being extremely intelligent and stoic and like proper and well-spoken to he just turned into an animal. He said, at times, just yell out and scream, ah, like an animal.
Vincent D'Onofrio is the fucking man. You know?
I love Vincent D'Onofrio. I loved him ever since Full Metal Jacket. Every film he's played in, I've loved him. I'm a very big fan of Vincent D'Onofrio. I love him when he played in The Cell. I love him when he played in it's so many films. It was this indie film I saw that he played in where he was this country ass guy. I forgot the name of it, and it was kind of like a Tales from the Crypt type of film, but set in a Quentin.
I think I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name, but I think I know what you're talking about.
He was the old story, pawn shop blues or pawn shop stories, something like that. It was good. It was real good though. Very good. Very good. But like last subject for the night, we're gonna talk about what's that? We're gonna talk about Penny Dreadful being signed for another season. What do you guys think about that? Anybody ever watched Penny Dreadful? I love Penny Dreadful.
I heard of the show. I could never quite get into it, but I don't know. I guess I have to give it a shot one of these days. Yeah, it is on Netflix, so
I enjoy Penny Dreadful, and the reason why I like Penny Dreadful for many different reasons is the fact that the writer that was doing Penny Dreadful, the reason why he stopped writing and had the show in is because he says right now I have no more creative content for it, and I don't just want to put out anything just to keep fans. So a lot of fans were upset that the series was ending because I think they only had 2 or 3 seasons, something like that. But at the same token, he says, I have no more for Penny Dreadful. He said, when I come up with something or whatever the case may be, I'll put it out to you guys. In the meantime, I'm going to drag you along with some bullshit ass filler story. Walking Dead. You know, and it says right here, it says, and over here at IGN, you know, you can't say the ig without IGN. You can't say ignorant without IGN. And it says, Penny Dreadful sequel series, City of Angels announced. Showtime has officially announced a sequel series to Penny Dreadful called Penny Dreadful City of Angels. John Logan will act as, let me scroll this up. John Logan will act as creator, writer, and executive producer on City of Angels. He acted in those roles in the original Penny Dreadful series. Michael Aguilar will serve as executive producer, James Bagley as co-producer, and production is expected to begin sometime in 2019. City of Angels will act as a spiritual descendant of the story from Penny Dreadful that was set in Victorian-era London. However, this show will begin in 1938 Los Angeles, California, and will infuse Mexican-American folklore and social tension. The story will be rooted in the conflict between characters associated with the deity Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte!
Saint Death.
Yeah. and others that are allied with the devil. New occult myths and moral dilemmas will be created within what Showtime is describing as a genuine historical backdrop. We were so thrilled when John Logan came to us with his wildly original take on the Penny Dreadful mythology that explores both the human spirit and the spirit world here in California. Showtime president of programming Gary Levine said, Penny Dreadful, City of Angels promises to be an extraordinary saga of familial love set against the terrifying monsters that are around us and within us. So yeah, I'll probably give it a try because I did enjoy the first Penny Dreadful season, like the first original Penny Dreadful series. So I mean, like I can't wait.
I've not watched it, but that does sound interesting. So I think I might catch up on it since I do have a Showtime subscription. So
yeah, I'm telling you, check it out and tell me what you think. Because me myself, I absolutely love Penny Dreadful.
One thing I am waiting for is season 2 of what is the Gods movie that came on HBO?
Oh, yeah.
American Gods.
American Gods, that was good.
That was good. Remember when I kept telling you, I said, watch this shit. He was like,
yeah, it was good.
I was like, I want to watch this girl. I said, Kenny, trust me.
It was a series that I was waiting for because I love Neil Gaiman and I loved the book.
Yeah, me too. Yep. American Gods is very good. Very good. Very good. Yep, that's a definite must watch. I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, you guys got anything else to add to the show before we shut it down? Definitely plug yourselves. Let people know where you're at, what you're doing, what you're about to do. What you up to, Mika?
Let me see. I'm spinning at the Good Room November 25th. That's next week, Sunday. I'm spinning there. For my friend Pia's birthday party is from 7 to 12.
Right.
I don't know what time I'm gonna be on. It's just a jam session with like 70,000 other DJs. But I am going to be spinning. It's free of charge. Come through. What's the address? 98 Meserole Avenue.
Mika.
In Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Mika, can you please give me the direct information so I can post it up in the description down below? Or do you not want people to come and see you?
No, man, it's a secret show.
Yeah, it's a secret show.
Every time I ask you, I'll be like,
I'll give you all of the info. I will give you all of the info.
All right, awesome.
Once we get off of the show.
Loving it.
Of the info.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Stop being an ass, Nate. Other than that, yeah, I'm just trying to like beat this headache.
Oh, I ain't. What happened yesterday? You that headache didn't go away?
No, it did. Like I was drinking like the ginger and mint tea. Not even ginger mint tea. I was drinking straight up ginger and mint, and that worked wonders. But I see now that it's coming back, so I gotta make some more.
Gotta add some fucking what's the name of that shit? Some rock and rye or some gin.
Rock and rye? What you know about rock and rye?
You know about rock and rye, nigga. I was a bartender for years. What are you talking about? So fucked up. Like
oh, I do have this. Wait. I do have this. I was gonna save this for Thanksgiving. It's a friend of mine owns this.
Where do you get all this liquor from, bro? You be having liquor on deck.
A friend of it's Fair Vodka. Is made out of, I don't know how you pronounce quinoa. Is made out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually tastes pretty good, but I'm gonna save this for Thanksgiving. I'm trying to be the drunken auntie that cooks.
You coming back to Jersey for Thanksgiving or no?
No, I don't think so. Why?
I was gonna stop up at your sister. I'll steal some plates and punch your
Oh, you want to donkey punch me like last time?
Oh no, I'm gonna punch your sister husband in the jaw. I'm like, I'm gonna take your girl.
Like my name Tyrone. I'm gonna take your girl.
You coming out?
You have to go through my mother first.
Huh?
She might attack you.
I kiss your mother. I'll be like, hold on, baby. Let me knock this real quick. I'm like, let me knock your son-in-law out real quick. She be like, don't do that, Danae. I'm like, hold up. She be like, you play too much, yo. Bam!
Or you just gonna roll up on him like, my name Danae. I'm here to take your wife.
So Kenny, what you got going on? What you advertising, brother? What you got?
Man, hit the links below. I ain't doing shit this week. Just trying to lay low in this fucking toxic air.
No. What is it really like? Because somebody
you gotta wear a mask.
No, somebody put up a picture on Facebook where like it was like all this fire in the background. Is that real or no?
Well, now where I'm at, you're just getting the smoke and a bunch of like an orangey sky, but closer to the fire, it's like that, man. You're just rolling by burning everything.
Can you put up some pictures, Kenny, if you don't mind? I want to see like what it really
yeah,
looks.
I want to see it too because like some of the pictures that I saw,
like, man, these motherfuckers want to see my fucking city to being destroyed and shit.
There was a video of somebody rolling through like a tunnel during the fire, and all the shit's just around them. If I can find that one, that one's pretty good. But yeah, man, it's a mess right now. And when you inhale the air, you're just smelling nothing but smoke.
Yo, man, you gotta rake up the forest, yo. That's how you get it.
I'll get my leaf blower. I'll get right on it.
You gotta rake the floor of the forest, man.
Yeah, rake the forest.
That's how you stop that, according to our dear leader.
According to our great president.
Yeah, rake it.
You gotta rake the forest in order to prevent
what he really
fucking solution.
You know, fuck the drought. Rake the forest.
Rake the forest, yo. Prevent that shit.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Trump because, like, if you ever go to his tweets, this motherfucker be saying some wild shit. I love it. And what I like is that he'll fire back at anybody. He don't give a fuck. It be kids up there talking shit to him. He be like, well, such and such is out. Like, this nigga wild. Like, you don't give a fuck. See what it is? You know what, too? People not used to a president that's like as ballsy as him. Or like say
as dumb as him, yo.
Bro, call it what you want. He don't give a fuck. I love a motherfucker that don't give a fuck. I love
no, but that doesn't mean that he's fucking accurate.
No, man. See,
all he want, that doesn't mean that he's fucking accurate. If you can be ballsy all you want to, but in order for you to do that, you gotta back that up with some fucking fact.
Like Donald Trump is that motherfucker that's dumb he don't know he dumb. He thinks he's the smartest motherfucker in the room.
I don't know. Whatever it is, I find him entertaining. I don't even give a fuck about politics. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I just be worried about money,
politics, religion, all that.
I don't care about none of that shit. I only give a fuck about like decent human beings, fucked up human beings, money, action figures, video games, money, girls. I don't even care about girls really like that. I don't be giving a fuck. I don't care. It's not too much I care about. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. After I got hit by after I got hit by that car and I had my motorcycle accident, I ain't give a fuck no more. Each time I had an accident or some shit happened to me, I just stopped giving a fuck more and more. So it's whatever. And I still ride motorcycles. What? I don't give a fuck. Still gonna ride motorcycles. Hey, Mika, I'm gonna come pick you up. I'm gonna come pick you up for Thanksgiving. And me and you gonna get on the motorcycle and I'm gonna eat your fucking turkey. I'm gonna eat your fucking turkey while I'm riding. Then I'm gonna drop your ass off on Morris Avenue at the Burger King. Drop your ass.
That is wild, yo.
You know what you want to say, David Aaron. He said, "This is
not the sheltered girl."
Yeah, no, because you know what?
Nah, Danae, drop off at the Popeyes on Freelandheisen.
How you know about the Freelandheisen and Popeyes? What the fuck? You been in Jersey lately?
Dude, I was up there.
That's right, you was in Jersey. Yep.
Dude, drop off at the Freelandheisen and Popeyes.
No, she ain't ready for that one.
Or the No. Drop off at the
Freelandheisen. Why that street so familiar? I played at this place called Ideals.
This motherfucker, that's it.
I played at this place called Ideals on that street. I remember that.
Drop her off at the McDonald's on McCarter Highway.
Oh man, but you know what? The McDonald's well, it depends on what time I drop off. If I drop off at night, she done for.
She gonna
Did you
see some
do that?
wild shit on the 1 and 9.
Look. Mouse Type says he tweets to keep your attention off of what he's actually doing, actually changing. She also says because that place is nasty. She said the place on Freeland Heights is nasty as fuck.
Yo, if you thought the Morris Avenue Burger King was wild.
No, you know what? I'm gonna show you motherfuckers because y'all don't believe what I'm saying about this burger. This Burger King is like a wrinkle in time. It's like some shit out of the late.
Danae, when you do your Uber next time, when you do your Uber Live, go to that Burger King.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I wanna because I have like video footage of certain passengers and like funny ass fucking rides that I've done and shit like that. But I have to make sure I can do it because they're getting real funny about like putting up video of people and stuff like that. So I got to see if I'm.
Better yet, when you get a passenger, be like, "Yo, I'm gonna need to make a stop and roll up on the Morris Avenue Burger King."
Yeah, like my passengers, man. My passengers be like, I get all the weirdos, freaks, and horny motherfuckers and shit like that. No bullshit.
Well, you are what you attract.
I know. That's what I throw out there in the universe. That's why I get it. I'm serious. Like I had this one. Like you know what? I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna start up my other on my other channel. I told you guys that we're gonna do like an adult themed show, and we're gonna talk about some serious topics, like some mature topics rather, so that way I don't, because I don't give a fuck if they knock down my what do you call that, my personal channel. Like the Tough Nerd Toys one, I gotta kind of like keep it up for certain reasons, tax purposes and shit. But like this one, like the other one, that one's gonna be the one we just speak our minds and say whatever we have to say, argue, fight, whatever the case may be. Hey, Mika, when you gonna do another battle royale? I like when you did, when that time dude came through, he was like, yo, you took my fucking soul. And you was like, get the fuck out from the fucking room. You took my soul. Mika was like, you better the same with everyone else. I love when Mika regulate. I love when she regulate, man.
I'm sorry, guys.
No,
that wasn't meant for you.
That was quality footage. What are you talking about? I want some more. That's all right. It's a part of sharing with everyone else. He was like, you did it to me. She took my soul. Never gave it back. So, yeah. David Aaron, advertise your channel.
Yeah.
Burns, how are you, sweetie?
Please look out for the free play mode on YouTube. As I said earlier in the podcast, I believe at the beginning, we do have a podcast coming up, which we will discuss the PlayStation Sony experience being canceled, Sony pulling out of E3, Microsoft potentially putting out a discless Xbox One, and what this all means for the industry going forward in 2019 and beyond.
I will check it out. I'm gonna subscribe to your page too, David.
Oh, yeah, definitely check out his channel. He has some great content on there, great gameplays, great reviews, great opinionated question. Like his channel is just amazing. He does great commentary, everything. David Aaron or D-Man or whichever way you want to put it, free play mode. He's been a wonderful asset to me. He's been a great friend. He definitely does great videos. I couldn't go on. There's not enough time in the world for me to mention how fantastic this guy is and how wonderful of a friend he is. Absolutely amazing.
Cool. What you got going on, Denise?
Oh man, where to begin? It's all.
I have to state an unpopular opinion before Danae goes. That shit that Jill Scott did, internet blowing up, that wasn't even head. That was hands. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, but still, that's not Jill Scott. Like, I mean, come on, nobody want to see that shit from no old ass motherfucker. She too old for that shit. And anyway, you gotta understand. She's
no. See, I disagree.
Black power, soul sister, positive energy.
I disagree with you on that, Danae.
All right. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people who mistake intelligent women who got vivid imaginations with the same old thottery and fuckery that we see each and every single fucking day.
Like who? Like, give me an example.
That's the issue that I have, and it makes me feel like, damn, it's like even beautiful women can't even express themselves Like we should
expressing itself. That was fucking.
Everybody's gonna be
we're
gonna be
that was soft.
Joe Button coined this term on his podcast a while ago. Jill Scott is a neo soul hoe.
Exactly.
So,
see, let's not. Now, you know what? We're about to go into a different.
Jill Scott's a neo soul.
Y'all about to have me fire up our other channel. We do a late night show. Fuck with me and watch what happens. Because you know what? I'm tired of these motherfuckers being looked at as like these, no matter what they do, they're still justified as being right, sexy, or whatever the case may be. She's too old for that shit. Not to mention, she's not a positive sister, and it's a way in which you do shit. Like that one.
She ain't too old. You got
that shit was ridiculous, it was cringeworthy, and it wasn't becoming of Jill Scott.
Come on, bro. You got Janet Jackson strapping motherfuckers to gurneys.
Don't do that, because then Danae's gonna say that you're comparing people. You do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. Let's just stick with the subject of Jill Scott. Let's just do that.
Having been to a sexuality. All right.
I'm gonna leave it that way.
Having been to a Jill Scott concert.
Me too, because I used to
got the perception of Jill Scott.
Jill Scott's been doing that ever since she did Poetry Slam. So what's the difference?
No. Jill Scott, that's just like what he said. That's some old neo soul hole type shit.
Yeah, but that's what Jill Scott is. She
called it the Hotep hole. The Hotep hole.
You got this like pristine image of what Jill Scott is, and Jill Scott is a neo soul hoe.
She said that she addressed that. She's like, that's been me. Like, have you listened to my discography? She's been like that.
I don't see how.
She doesn't care what you think. She does not care what you think.
It's complete trash. That was complete trash.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, she doesn't care what you think, though. Call it trash.
All right.
Her salesman tripled. She doesn't care what you think.
There have been
her sales tripled. She doesn't care what you think.
There have been older women that are musicians that get up there and they do their certain this, that, and the other, so on and so forth, and they look very classy and sexy with it and shit. Even though I don't agree with Erykah Badu crazy ass and shit like that. There are certain, like certain times she may do certain things.
Why are you calling her crazy though? I like Erykah.
It's fucking insane. Let's be honest here. That bitch is 2 cans short of a fucking 6-pack. I'm telling you.
Well, why you gotta hate on neo soul ho, Jill?
Oh man. Somebody said the new Faith Evans. God damn, they took it down to Faith Evans level. God man. They said the new Faith Evans. So yeah, man.
What Faith Evans doing with herself? Besides marrying Stevie J, rat face ass.
Yeah, Stevie J. Yo, it's one clip I saw, and I'm gonna leave it on this because we about to we taking it somewhere else. But I don't care. But yeah, it was this one clip I saw, and I'm gonna send it to you guys. What Faith Evans said, she was like, wait, she said something about I fuck mad niggas when I was young. That's why dick don't do shit.
I believe it.
No, I'll find it for you. You think I'm lying? I'll find it for you and send it to you.
No, I believe it. You know,
the thing about it is everybody was looking like, I remember when Faith Evans used to just come over when she was staying over here in Newark. Like she's never been like, see, one thing about people from New York and New Jersey, we're not starstruck like that because we see these motherfuckers we see these motherfuckers every day. We see them for the motherfuckers that they are, and we know them for the motherfuckers that they are. This be the same motherfucker that just shot a video, but you catch your ass down at White Castle or the Chicken Shack and shit like that, or doing some old fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's
like I said, she fucked Tupac. Anything's possible.
Oh.
There's no telling how many niggas she fucked.
No, she'll tell you. Like now that she's older, she raunchy as fuck. Her mouth is reckless as hell. This motherfucker just be out there like, fuck it, like it's pussy. Like it's pussy. She don't give a fuck. But yeah,
she married Stevie J. She sees that as an honor.
Yeah,
he's even worse.
It's not even an honor. She just don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. Like what's her name? Faith Evans. She don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. She do not care. I'm telling you, she doesn't.
Think about it. Like if Biggie was still alive, would she be acting like that?
Yeah, she would. Because that's regardless. That's
why he married her.
Yeah, Aaron, preach the sermon, bro. Preach the sermon.
Faith Evans being freaky and all that shit is nothing new to motherfuckers who grew up during that era. Like, people know Faith Evans.
Exactly. It's other stuff I can tell you about Faith Evans, especially being over here in Newark, New Jersey. I can tell you about Faith Evans. Honestly, I know somebody. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. We'll say that for the other show.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that for the other show. As a matter of fact, I'm going to fire up the new the mature show on the adult channel, and I'll hit you guys up, and we can all really chop it up. We can just chop it up, just like this. You down, Kenny? You down, Kenny?
Yeah,
or you sleep?
Of course, I'm good.
I'm always down.
All right, you down?
I'm always down for a little raunchy talk.
All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dock the ship. David Aaron is flying this time. We all drunk in the back. Kenny about to get up. He jumping halfway out before the ship stops. Hitting buttons as usual. Me, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Mika, what is that? Mika usually wake me up and shit like that. She be like, Danae, we back at the TNT Photon HQ. You know we're not allowed in here. We gotta get out of here. Whenever we do this show, we take the ship, we fly it out. You know what I'm saying? And we do our little podcast, and then when we dock back in, we got to get the fuck out of here. The thing about it is we don't speak to each other until we get ready to steal another ship again. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't watch She-Ra. What's that?
Watch Castlevania.
Yeah, don't watch She-Ra. Watch Castlevania. Go see David Aaron's channel. It is absolutely amazing. Be on the lookout for Uncle Beetle Show on YouTube. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with it. I might do it on YouTube. I might do it on Facebook because Facebook hit me up with some bullshit. So I'll see what they talking about. I don't know. But wherever I go, you're gonna have the squad with me. I'm taking the squad with me. I'm taking Mika with me. I'm taking Count Kenny with me. And I'm taking David Aaron with me. You know what I'm saying? Whoever want to come. Y'all welcome to come on the show. You're welcome.
Where's Claudy? Claudy flaked on us.
Fuck Claudy. Fuck Claudy. You need Danae. You need reconditioning. You're not a good male. You know he swears I'm gay, right? I don't care. Maybe I am. I don't know. I gotta check. But I haven't really thought about fucking nobody in the ass. So I mean, I don't think I'm gay. I think I just don't give a fuck. Oh yeah. You know what it is? He don't like the fact that I like hot bods. He said, "Whoa, you've talked about the hot body. You need reconditioning." Hot bod. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna check it out. We're gonna check out now. It's been fun having you. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and know when we go live and when we upload a new video. And be on the lookout for Uncle Beetle Show. I'm probably gonna name it something else. I don't know. We'll name it something. All right. So take care. God bless. And it was a great time having you. We love you guys.
Mm-hmm. Bye, everybody.
To the fellow co-hosts, everybody here, you guys were amazing. I wouldn't be able to do this shitty show without you.
Pork chop sandwiches.
All right. Good night, everybody.